A new day, a new start for the Titans. Peyton Hawkinson, 1-2-3 against the tough top of the Stanford order. And now we get a first-timer out there today, Parker Warner from Livermore, California. He was excellent in his high school career. He was very well decorated and earned all those awards with great pitching and a great record. And he is a 6'1" righty freshman from Granada High School up in Livermore. Parker Warner, well, maybe he'll get some time in the outfield too. But his first appearance as a collegiate player is as a starting pitcher in Game 4. CSU Fullerton coming up here against Parker Warner. Eli Lopez in center field. Carter Johnstone at third base. Marcos Rosales at second. Jacob Shart in left field. Andrew Kirchner in right field. Maddox Lotta at short. Max Ortega the catcher. Matthew Bardowell, his second start this weekend. Isaiah Gomez in the 9 spot. Eli Lopez with 2 hits and 10 at-bats. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. One of the guys the Titans hope will get it going. This takes the place of any midweek for both teams here playing on a Monday. President's Day around the country, although here at Fullerton, the President's Day holiday was taken Friday when most students don't come to campus, and instead of Monday where you'd have to cancel a whole lot of them. Strike 1 on a foul away to number 1, Eli Lopez. Out of a windup, a short windup for Warner. And his fastball comes in just like so many of his teammates. 92, good for strike 2. There are the Titans: Lopez, Johnson, Rosales, Shart, Kirchner, Lotta, Ortega catching with Bardowell, the DH, and Gomez in the 9 spot.
Guess Stanford's got to check pitch count. That's kind of been an issue for the Stanford Cardinal. I know last game some pitchers are kind of some miscues between the pitcher and the catcher. So continues today.
PitchCom not just using professional ranks, but in the college game for a few years now. And different versions of it from pro to college, but the idea is the same. And in college, what actually happens is the players around the diamond typically can have a device as well, usually around their wrist, kind of like something like a wristwatch, at least on appearance. And the players on the field can see the pitches coming in that way. 3-2 on the Titan leadoff hitter Lopez, who swings, hits a fastball down to the second baseman Jimmy Nadai, and 1 gone for the Titans in the first.
I'm really excited to see what Warner is made up of. I mean, he was unbelievable in high school. Guided his team to a CAF NorCal State Division I championship while posting a 32-1 record, and especially the defensive lineup like Warner has. Wouldn't be surprised if he looks awfully comfortable over there on the rubber here today.
Johnstone swings, lines the first pitch he sees to Court McDonald in center. McDonald had been playing left field this weekend. We saw the Stanford defensive lineup with Lavin catching. A new shortstop for them in Charlie Bates, who had been their center fielder, but more traditionally is a shortstop. Tatum Marsh, another start with McDonald moving to center, with Bates coming into the infield, and then Reynolds in right field. So Johnstone, good contact, but a line out to center. Marcos Rosales, 1 for 7 this weekend, has scored 3 times because he's been plunked a number of times. Strike 1 on him to start. 3 times he's been hit by pitches. Could have been a 4th, but he was caught mid-swing and hit off the bat. So they've been throwing inside on him, and he is really on top of that plate. When that ball came to the backstop right then, The catcher clear, and so did the umpire, and I could see his toes hanging across the, or getting pretty close to hanging across the batter's box on the inside, kind of like a surfer. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike 2. 2 out for the Titans. Rob McKinley, who started the weekend behind the plate, back behind the plate again, so it's a 3-man crew. Thus, the first home plate umpire becomes the last home plate umpire. And Matt McMahon over at third base near the Titan dugout. Jeff Clough to the first base side. Perfect day outside. Very high clouds today. Nothing real fluffy. Check swing by Rosales, and he's able to hold up. Takes the count to 3-2. And just a perfect day, 70 degrees. Great to be outside. If you're still coming to the ballpark, pay for parking. There is a little bit of traffic out there as far as extra cars in the parking lot because it is a school day. 3-2, foul back.
Such a beautiful day, though. I mean, I think this is the first day all series that we actually have the sun peeking out today. So I'm all for it.
Three balls and 2 strikes, certainly this early and this bright. Rosales trying to time that up, fouls it back again. Jacob Shart on deck. Parker Warner bringing that All-American status from his high school days, trying to test it out on the collegiate level. That foul ball by Rosales, I think it kicked off the railing. It was pretty close. There's a lot of bodies down there in the Titan dugout. Good look there in the background, and he hit it right straight behind him.
If his team is not awake, his team certainly is now.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Puts this in play. Right center field up the alley to the Sarlos family sign. Misplayed by McDonald out there when he reached for it. Rosales going for second. Off to third. Nadai with a throw way too late. A 3-bagger for Rosales. We'll see if he gets credit for all 3 of them on the triple. Because McDonald chasing it, reached for it. I couldn't tell if he was trying to barehand that or glove it. But when he reached for it, he certainly didn't miss it. Yeah, there he is trying to glove it, try to stop it, and had to pick it up a second time. Triple for Rosales. Good base running by Rosales. Head up, not just settling for a double. That's why you got to be digging hard out of the box, right?
Exactly, and that's what we mentioned earlier. It's a situation you cannot hesitate. If you take one simple hesitation, look, next thing you know, you're going to be caught and possibly, ruining and killing all the momentum that you've had. So a great effort from Rosales, and again, it just kind of seems like when there's, runners on the scoring position, runners on for Cal State Fullerton, Jacob Shart's up, and rightfully so. He has been that guy on the offensive side for Cal State Fullerton.
2 strikes, so Shart having to be very protective there on that pitch. And the Titans now have 2 triples for the weekend. Stanford had 2 triples in game 1 on Saturday. 0-2, up high. Third base isn't always the most important to take when there's 2 out. Typically, you want to get there less than 2 out because you can score on a ball that gets hit for an out. But Warner's thrown 1 to the backstop with nobody on base. So, in the college game, always try to get to third base, no matter the outage.
And nerves is still going to play a factor. It's his first ever appearance, right, in a collegiate uniform. It's going to just take some time to get used to, especially all of his accomplishments in high school. He'll be ready to go. And just stay poised, stay composed, right? Pose and composure is something I always love to say, especially for a pitcher, right? Having that short-term memory. Just take a deep breath. You're not trying to do too much. You have a defense for a reason. You see right now he's working from the windup instead of the stretch. Just trying to get in a comfortable spot here.
That ball's hit down to third, but well played by Haskins. Haskins throws it to Sasaki to retire the Titans in the first inning. Looked like he went off speed to Jacob Shart there. The 2-out triple gets stranded out there, and we have no score after one. A rarity, no score after one inning. Yesterday we were 3-3. In the first game, Stanford was up 3-zip, and in the second game, they're up 4-zip. So the first time that we have gone through the first inning scoreless in the series.
And if you're, both coaching staffs, you're kind of like, finally, we can breathe a little bit, right? And, it just based off what the series has happened, right? The past 3 games, I wouldn't say it's a shock, but it's like about time, finally, we can relax. We can just find a way to get going.
We're ready to go here for the second inning. Charlie Somm had a big home run yesterday. 3 for 12 this series. There are 5 games involving top 25 teams. It's not necessarily a day that teams play, where it's a 90% rate as far as teams playing, but it's starting to become a little bit more. It is a holiday around the country for a lot of people, so teams sneak in games. Those teams that were in Arizona just want to stick around and play maybe one more team. Nebraska's playing Grand Canyon today. Vanderbilt actually traveled home after their Sunday game against UC Irvine out of the Big West, and they're playing later on today. Charlie Somm is struck out. 3 strikeouts by Peyton Hawkinson. Checking the Titans with the leather, it's Max Ortega catching. Isaiah Gomez, Marcos Rosales, Maddox Latta, Carter Johnstone on the infield. Jacob Shart, Eli Lopez again in center, there he is. And Andrew Kirchner in right field. Swing and a miss. Jimmy Nadai 6 for 14. One of, 3 Stanford players with 6 hits coming into the weekend. But Hawkinson, the 6'7" lefty out of Turlock, has retired the first 4. See if Latta can make it the first 5. Falling backwards on the throw. Latta gets it in there on a bounce. And right when I was setting it up and the pitch was coming to Nadai, I'm thinking, is this the announcer's jinx? If I say 4 in a row, and Nadai being the 6-hit guy this weekend, he might be the one to break it.
Him and Sasaki both coming in with the same batting average of 429.
Reynolds also has 6 hits. He's 6 for 12 with 6 batted in. Reynolds at the plate right now. A double and a homer. Swing and a miss by Reynolds. 0-2, and boy, count leverage so important. And we're talking about winning the strike zone and being one of our keys. Brought to you by Embassy Suites Brea. And Hawkinson kind of all over it right now with different pitches. No swing on the breaking ball there from Reynolds.
And I know it's super early in the game. Anything can happen. But this has been something that Cal State Fullerton has been wanting and hasn't gotten that opportunity yet in, well early on. Get these key strikeouts, getting these key outs.
A loud Titan dugout spurs Hawkinson on to strike out his 4th in the first 2 innings. 6 straight out of the gate. Retired by the 6'7" lefty from Turlock. And boy, that's a welcome sight for the Titan fans. No score in the second. Yeah, there's always some kind of construction here at campus now, and I think that's over where they tore down some of the old dorms that are about 30, 35 years old. They might be building up some new ones. In addition to the new ones and the new ones and the new ones, the dormitory expanse here at Goodwin, I keep saying Goodwin, at Cal State Fullerton has kind of exploded the last 15 to 20 years. And hopefully that gets students coming to more athletics events. Sometimes you just have to entice them. You know, I was at a UCLA game a couple years ago, basketball, and the students were there like an hour before, maybe an hour and a half before, because they gave them pizza. This is UCLA, and you think, hey, students would just want to show up because it's great basketball tradition. Sometimes you still have to entice them. Like the NBA All-Star game, you know, you have to entice those guys nowadays.
Hey, no one can't beat free food.
Yeah. Andrew Kirchner leads off against Parker Warner. We're scoreless in the bottom of the second. With Peyton Hawkinson retiring the first 6 Stanford Cardinal batters with 4 strikeouts. Warner allowed a 2-out triple to Rosales, a gapper, and a little bobble on the stop attempt by McDonald in deep right center allowed Rosales to go for 3, but got Shart, the next batter. Fastball coming in between 89 and 92 from Warner. Kirchner at the plate, 4 for 12 this weekend, 6 batted in. And that's accounted for almost half of the Titan RBI total. 2-1 pitch. Still got a changeup there. He pulls it into right field, so he's able to stay on time with it. Reynolds fires it back in to hold Kirchner to a single. Kirchner's 5th hit this weekend.
81-mile-per-hour changeup. You said it right, Mike. Good job just to stay back. Let's take another look again. Lean out in front just a little bit, but able to just turn it pull side. Good quality at-bat there for Kirchner. He's continuing to be on a roll here in a Titan uniform.
In a fastball count, too. 2-0 pitch, 2-0 changeup. Maddox Lotta is up. 3 hits this weekend. 3 for 12. It scored 3 times. Hitting bottom half of the order. But Stanford bottom half of the order showed what a bottom half of the order can do. It's not a slight. Somebody's got a hit down there. And you're in the starting lineup. Timo Becerra, Charlie Bates, Tatum Marsh. Those guys have worked this weekend. And Lotta has 3 hits himself. Kind of turned off a fastball there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Titans trying to salvage 1 before they take the rest of the week off and go to Fresno State for a 6 p.m. Friday night game. 3 p.m. on Saturday, 1 p.m. on Sunday if you're in the neighborhood and you're trying to see the Titans and the Bulldogs like the old days. We know that Stanford and Fullerton have 1 more year here on the home and home, with Fullerton going to Stanford next year. And then after that, we'll see. There's only 3 weeks of non-con action for both teams in their new conferences, essentially. Stanford ACC and the Titans expanded Big West. UC San Diego coming in the last couple years, Bakersfield before that. Titans open up Big West play on the weekend of March the 7th at Cal Poly. Cal Poly to some people. 1-2 to Lotta. Off-speed pitch. He got a piece of it. There goes Jason Blood. And back to first goes Kirchner. Two and 2 to Lotta. Only one other ACC team is in action today. That is Stanford's Bay Area rival, California. Cal is playing against Nevada today. Cal 2-1 after the weekend. And that game against Nevada is the finale of a 4-gamer against the Wolfpack, with Cal winning by big margins and then losing by a big margin in the 3rd game. Titans had a hit and run there on. Fouled off by Lotta, 2-2. Cal hosts Houston next weekend.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah. And Cal, perhaps similar to Stanford, certainly the first weekend where they have a Monday game. Most of Stanford's midweeks in quotations now, Mondays. Lotta hits one past Sasaki at first base. Kirshner now going to test Reynolds. The throw comes all the way to 3rd. Kirshner safe at 3rd on a base hit by Maddox Lotta on a 2-2 pitch. A lot of pitches in that at-bat before Lotta pulls one past, or pokes one past Sasaki rather, into right field.
That's all it takes. Take all the time you need, right? Get your timing down, work deep in the count. Good job from Kirshner to slide towards the right-hand side, far side of the bag. Runners on the corners, no outs now for Max Ortega. Love to see it.
7-pitch at bat to Maddox Lotta. Lotta wins on the 7th pitch. And here comes Thomas Eager, who makes all their visits. Nobody in the bullpen for Stanford at the moment, but see how the freshman's doing. See how the hamster's running.
And for Warner, just settling down, right? I mean, ranked the number 31st right-handed pitcher in California according to Perfect Game. I mean, he's a top-notch kid that Stanford was very pleased once they got the phone call that he was going to commit to be a Cardinal. West Coast Preps Player of the Year as well. I mean, his high school accolades is just absolutely ridiculous. Video game numbers. Went 13-0 his senior year with a .93 ERA, 0.93 to be precise. So to have an accolade like that in high school, are you kidding me? That's everyone's dream to have a number like that. So really just a mound visit, just to slow down the game. You kind of see he was kind of taking, just throwing his arm a little bit, making sure he's not really aiming his pitches and just continue to just trust his mechanics. But I'm really excited to see what Ortega can do. 0 for 7 so far in this series. But hey, he's 2 for a base knock.
It's a no-out situation here for the Titans, 1st and 3rd. Max Ortega, the 7th batter in the lineup, 0 for 7. Third start of the weekend for Ortega. Didn't start the 3rd game. Playing the first 2 as the DH and then the catcher. The Waldy and Ortega alternate the first 4 games behind the plate. Waldy Perez, number 24. Sidearm delivery comes back to Lavin, but it allows Lotta to go to 2nd. So a wild pitch.
And again, you kind of see Lavin just say, hey, slow down a little bit. You're good. Have some fun. That's all it is. Have some fun. A lot of people dream to have an opportunity like Warner does, to be able to start being a starting pitcher as a freshman. Prove why.
Infield comes in, creeps up just a little bit, mostly at first with Sasaki on the grass. Haskins at 3rd, in towards the cut. Still kind of hangs back to keep Kirshner kind of close. 3-0 now, the count runs on Ortega. You see the positioning by Haskins. 3-0. Letter high fastball hit and bloop to right field down the line. It lands. Lotta got a big jump in the throw by Reynolds in between everybody, allowing both runners to score. Kirshner was waiting to see just in case the ball got caught, and Lotta was pretty close on his tail. But then when Reynolds threw the ball back in between everybody.
Yeah, Reynolds was, normally right. You're kind of taught if there's an opposite side hitter. So specifically in this case, a right-handed hitter, you're gonna play flare rather. And Reynolds was off the line, wasn't really playing in the flare location. A good opportunity for Ortega, but you got to give credit for Lotta too in the smart base running.
Another ball in play. Bardawell hitting to Nadai. Bates trying to turn the double play. Bardawell outruns the double play return. Ortega forced out on the play. Ortega credited for 1 RBI on his bloop single. Here's the attempt at a double play. Nadai's backhand kind of floated for a second. That allowed Bardawell to outrun it. So with Reynolds throwing back to the infield in between everybody, that's where they accounted for a lot of scoring on that throwing error. This one pops in and out of the glove of Lavin, and Bardawell goes to second. So 1 RBI for Ortega on the score sheet. And I could see where Reynolds thought, well, I mean, I don't know exactly what he was thinking if he heard somebody say 2-2-2, because the ball ended up being between everybody, but I think Robbie kind of explained it. 1-0 here to the number 9 man, Isaiah Gomez. Number 9 on the jersey, number 9 in the lineup. But number 1 in your heart.
Always. It's never, I think Valentine's Day should be every day, you know what I mean?
They're all tied for first. 2-1. 2-0 rather. Now 2-1.
I'm like what I'm seeing from this Titan squad, because I was thinking about this earlier, right? It's okay. Last night's game was 3.5 hours long. 3 hours, 35 minutes to be exact. And, fatigue can play a factor, but certainly hasn't been for Cal State Fullerton.
A deep drive by Gomez. Reynolds back. And with a reaching effort, it actually just goes past his glove off the wall. A double for Gomez, an RBI as well. A long fly the other way to put the Titans on top 3-0. Bardawell scoring from second. Hit number 3 on the weekend for Isaiah Gomez in his third start, his second batted in, and his first extra base hit. And he really got that one up and going almost out of the park here at Goodwin Field.
Fire me up. Like I was mentioning, right, we weren't sure fatigue was going to play a factor. You're tired. You've been beat the last 3 games. This is what I wanted to see. I want to see some fire out of this Cal State Fullerton squad. I want them to want it. I want them to be out here, take every opportunity, act every opportunity is like your last, and they're proving why. Once again, off to a great start. This is what you want to see, and it gives a little bit of a sigh of relief from Hawkinson, knowing that he can come in for the third to possibly produce some more outs.
The ownership. That's something Dietz talks about, taking ownership. And, I took Dr. Ken Reviza's class, and he was a great forerunner of the sports psych movement over the past 40 years plus. 2-0 to the leadoff man Lopez. He goes to left field, a liner with only 1 out. Gomez had to check, make sure it wasn't caught. It's still just 1 out in the inning now. Runners at the corners. After the Gomez double off the wall, Stanford sent guys down to the bullpen, so they're getting ready as quickly as possible as Warner trying to pick up outs, but it's a lot of batted balls. And so far some damage. 3 runs in for now Carter Johnstone.
And that's what Cal State Fullerton needed. They needed the momentum to get going. It was 1 single AB. It was a key strikeout. Cal State Fullerton has been struggling to just find that sliver of momentum through the entirety of the series. But this is what happens, right? You get a good base knock. You find a way to move runners aboard, kind of get the dugout fired up. This is what you like to see.
Johnstone, first pitch swinging into right field, driving in Isaiah Gomez, sending Lopez to third. Makes it 5-0 Titans. And how about the bottom half of the order? The bottom 5 in the order have all reached and scored in this inning. We'll make it 4-0. 4-0. Feels like 10-0. Not against Stanford, but this rally seems like it could be 8, 9, 10 at this point. Right now it's 4.
Certainly a good feeling to have.
I even misled our score bug operator. It's still 4-0 Cal State Fullerton on top. Nothing Titans. As Ben Reimers is in for Stanford now. Parker Warner only gets 1 out in the second. 4 runs against them so far. Is still responsible for Johnstone at first base and Lopez at third. Ben Reimers appeared on Saturday in the doubleheader. He pitched in game 1. He got the last 5 outs in relief of Matt Scott in the 13-1 7-inning win. Reimers, number 40, 6'3" sophomore from South Orange County out of J. Sarah Catholic.
Reimers was solid in his first appearance of the season, right? I mean, 1 2/3 innings, didn't give up any hits, didn't walk anybody, didn't have any strikeouts either, had to rely on his defense, but I mean, that's what they're there for, right? He did his job. Again, he's not too much of a power type of pitcher. He's a ground ball out type of guy. He made 22 appearances a season ago as a freshman, compiling a 3-1 record over 33 2/3 innings pitched, the 4th most appearance on the team a season ago. So again, Cal State Fullerton, they did the scouting report, so with runners on scoring position, it's a good opportunity for Rosales just to move runners over at this point.
Reimers on Friday was so efficient, he got 5 outs facing only 4 batters because he got a double play ball. He got Ortega for a double play to end the 6th inning, and then he got Kirchner, Bardwell, and Johnstone in the 7th. Marcos Rosales. We spoke too soon about the sun. Now we get a little bit of cloud cover now.
Talk about a broadcaster's jinx. Said, hey, the sun out for the first time this series. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners at the corners. 1 out. Stanford middle infielders looking to turn that double play. Pitch hangs up. Ball 2. The Titans with Kirchner leading the rally with a base hit to right. Lotta singled past Sasaki. Ortega singled to right, driving in a run. Lotta also scored on an air that play. Rosales with a fly ball into center. That'll get a run in. McDonald back, runs it down. Here comes Lopez. The Titans now lead at 5-0. Give a couple high fives for that one. Fist bumps. Matthew Bardwell hit into a force play. That's the only out until now. Rosales a sac fly to center. Gomez a double and Lopez a single. And then Johnstone a single. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits in the inning for 5 runs.
5 singles, 1 double. Again, right? Just fundamentals of baseball. You don't need to do too much. I mean, who doesn't love the long ball?
Johnstone trying to steal a base. Safe in at second on strike 1 to Jacob Sharp. The Titans' second steal this weekend, both by Carter Johnstone, who's still in the game yesterday. Johnstone stole a base in the 3rd inning, came around to score.
And to add to that, both of his stolen bases, the pitches have been fastballs, and that just shows his speed, right? You know, as a base runner, if you know you're stealing in a way, you're kind of trying to predict, okay, he threw this pitch, last AB, or the last pitch happened to be a curveball or a fastball. Point I'm just trying to make here is you kind of want to predict what's coming next, because obviously if it's a changeup, if it's a breaking ball, you're going to have more time to steal the bag. But again, but Johnstone stealing both of his bases on a fastball shows the speed that he truly brings to this program.
Excellent point, Robbie. One strike to Shart, the ninth batter of the inning. 0-2 now. Looks like Stanford's using more of a major league style pitch comm with the earpiece for the pitcher. We saw Reimers on the last one go to his glove to try to shield some of the crowd noise so we could hear the pitch coming. There it is. Great shot, guys. The difference being in the major leagues, the catcher would be calling the pitches, so the catcher's sending out the audible. In college, coaches typically call the pitches. Shart with a grounder to Nadi, and that's that for the Titans. But 5 runs on 6 hits with a man left. And the Titans, after 2 innings, lead it on Stanford. Same lead they had yesterday of 5 runs. Let's see if they can hold it in Game 4. Robbie's coming up. Play-by-play.
Welcome back. He's Michael Martinez. My name is Robbie Loya. Top of the 3rd inning. 5-0 Cal State Fullerton lead, scoring all 5 runs. The bottom half of inning number 2, 5 runs on 5 hits, including an error, leaving 1 on base in the bottom of the 2nd for the Titans. As the lefty currently on a roll in a game that we assumed, right, with what happened the last 3 games for the Titans. Weren't sure if we were going to get another bullpen game. It was leaning towards that way. But no doubt has Hawkinson truly proven his worth here today in another Titan uniform. 6'7" lefty from Turlock, California. As a sophomore, working from the windup against Luke Lavin. The first pitch will be outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Of course, in high school, attended Turlock High School in Turlock, California. Earned first team all-conference and conference pitcher of the year his junior year, even scholar athlete of the year as well, leading his team to a conference championship back in 2022. 1 ball and no strikes for the lefty, as I believe they are going to call a pitch clock violation on Hawkinson. So it's 2 balls and no strikes. So the first pitch from the lefty misses outside. Pitch clock violation on the southpaw results in 2 balls and no strikes for the catcher. That one will be in there for a called strike. 2-1. 7, 8, and 9. Luke Lavin, Tatum Marsh, and Charlie Bates be due up for the Cardinal here in the top of the 3rd inning. 2-1. Fastball reaches the outer edge. 2-2. Hawkinson, a kid that models his game after Max Scherzer and Greg Maddux. 2-2 in the dirt. Again, a season ago for Hawkins, an ERA of 6.38, total appearances, 4 starts, only collecting a total of 10 innings, 11 walks, 8 strikeouts. Payoff pitch downstairs, ball 4, as Lavin will get aboard. The first Stanford Cardinal to get aboard here in this game comes at the top of the 3rd inning. Brings up an opportunity now for Tatum Marsh. The past 3 games for the Stanford Cardinal totaled a batting average of .348, including 31 total runs, or rather 31 RBIs to say the least. 33 total runs giving up from Cal State Fullerton. No balls and a strike to the left fielder. Hawkinson gives a good look at the runner on first. Smacks that one foul in front of the Fullerton dugout. No balls and 2 strikes. Tatum Mars, 6'1" freshman from San Jose, California. Attended Valley Christian High School. Was ranked the number 8 outfielder in California, 38th overall in the state. Skies that baseball deep to center field. Lopez has a beat on it. He makes the grab in deep center field for out number 1 here on the top of the third. Brings up Charlie Bates. We did get to see Bates last time out as well. Has made an appearance in every single game so far in this series as a freshman, batting 143, 2 for 14 in total, including striking out 4 times. Hits that one on the ground to first. They throw it to second. The tag in time. 3-6 double play. Gomez and the tag from Lotta. Fire me up, Cal State Fullerton. With another shutout inning in the top of the third. We head to the bottom of the third. 5-0 Titans lead on ESPN Plus. Welcome back. Bottom of the third inning. An exciting 3-6 double play. Gomez with a hard hit towards his side in the hot corner. Gets the force out at first. Perfect throw to Lotta to tag Lavin, going to second for a 3-6 double play. An exciting way to end the top half of inning number 3. 37 total pitches so far for Hawkinson, including a walk and 4 strikeouts with 9 batters faced. Brings up once again Ben Reimer's final stat score for Parker Warner. Pitched 1 1/3 innings, giving up 7 hits, 5 runs, all of which were earned, including no walks, no strikeouts. 5, 6, and 7. Andrew Kirshner, Maddox Lotta, and Max Ortega be due up for the Titans here in the bottom half of inning number 3. The Cardinals still looking for their first base hit of this game. It's certainly been the Peyton Hawkinson show here today. Of course, Kirshner batting .333, 4 for 12 entering this one. So far, he's 1 for 1. The single to right field back in inning number 2. The Lakewood, California product back in the batter's box. Curveball will be in there for a called strike, no balls and 2 strikes. Kushner from Golden West College. Utility guy, can play in the outfield, can also play at first base as well. 5 seconds on the pitch clock as Kirshner skies that one. It's a cloud scraper deep to right field near the warning track. Making the grab is Reynolds for a long out number 1 here in the bottom of the third.
I laugh because, number 1, Kirshner did a good job kind of figuring out the pitch sequence. They gave him 2 breaking balls. They got for 2 strikes, and then he got something a little bit straighter over the middle of the plate, and he was ready. And then that got Ben Reimers to kind of talk to his dugout. Like, hey, I didn't really necessarily like the feel of that. To me, that's what it looked like. And he didn't like being, even though it's an out, he didn't like the feeling that he got from bat on ball there by the opponent.
The bulldog mentality, we said it earlier, right? He has certainly been that guy. Gives another chance for Lotta, the 5'11" infielder from Granada Hills, California. The 0-1, sweet chin music doesn't dust off him off the plate, rather. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, since it's a working day here at Fullerton, I'm seeing some people come out of the office. And sometimes some of them are coming out of different offices. Softball is here. Their offices are right there in the old VIP area here at baseball.
Lotta puts a whole lot of this one. Right center field it goes. Lotta rounding second. He's going to stay there with ease. Too easy. A stand-up double for Maddox Lotta. Puts a runner in scoring position for Max Ortega.
You know, something that was concerning yesterday for the Titans was their inability to hit basically one reliever. And when you get so much production early and then one reliever slows you down, that gave Stanford the opportunity to come back. And obviously today, right, we know Reimers is a good, solid reliever for Stanford. He did well on Saturday. How can you attack those next relievers and really keep the pressure on that other team that say, hey, just because you have a deficit, that's not the target point. You're going to have to make up a lot more runs than that. You got to keep going.
You're certainly right, partner. No lead is safe. Cal State Fullerton was up 11-6 in yesterday's loss to the Stanford Cardinal. Final score 14-11. The 0-1, tad high, 1 ball and 1 strike to Max Ortega. With an RBI single back in the second inning, reached to second on the throwing error by Reynolds in right field. Reimers takes a deep breath, aims and fires, misses down low. 2 balls and a strike.
Among those out of the main athletics office, Allison Kelly's here and Sarah Perry. Since it's basically a working day for everybody, but sneak out on the lunch hour, take a late lunch. Uh-oh.
Spin move, almost got Lotta. Tag there from Nat-Eye as Reimers kind of looks to the coaching staff.
Lotta had a big lead and a late jump. He still beat it back, though.
Looked like they're considering they wanted to possibly use a challenge. 2-1, skied well high. An opportunity for Nat-Eye. Calls off everyone. Will make the grab in shallow right for 2 outs here now on the bottom of the third. Bring up Matthew Bardwell. We saw Bardwell during the doubleheader was 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. It's nice to see him back. The 6'4" senior from Fontana, California, transferred 2 years ago from Riverside Community College, or rather, correction, Riverside City College, where his batting average of .436. .537 on base percentage as well, helped lead the team to a 2022 state championship. 1 ball, no strikes to the tall righty. Bardwell puts one deep into left field. That baseball is carrying near the warning track and landing all the way on the ground, making the grab as Marsh trips on his feet, but doesn't matter. Tough play in deep left field. Makes up the grab, and that will do it. Takes away at least an RBI for Bardwell, possibly more, but they get out of a jam. Cal State Fullerton still lead this one 5-0. We head to the top of the 4th on ESPN+. He's Michael Martinez. My name's Robbie Loya. 5-0 Titan lead. Stanford Cardinals still looking for their first base hit. They've had a runner on back in the top of the 3rd via a walk. But so far, nothing rolling for the Cardinal. Luke Laving got on for the walk, but nothing rolling, including the play ending on a 3-6 double play from Gomez to Lotta. 1, 2, and 3 coming up. McDonald, Haskins, and Sasaki. Gonna be a fun top 3 lineup. McDonald has reached base, at least going back to the 2024 season, reached base in the last 4 games. Extending that streak has gone on in every single game so far early on into this year's campaign. First pitch on the outer edge, called a strike, no balls and 1 strike for the left-handed hitter.
McDonald tried to do a little umpiring there, but he was soon corrected.
Still possibly frustrated after getting called out on strikes in his first AB back in inning number 1. No balls and 2 strikes for this lefty-lefty matchup. In the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. McDonald entered this game as a junior, batting .273. It was 3 for 11, including 6 runs, but 2 of them being runs batted in. The 1-2, laced right up the middle, snagged over there by Lada. The throw, not in time. That was close. What a great defensive stop by Lada. Throws it to first, and Gomez says, "Coach, let's challenge that. Bring out the headsets. Let's go." That was close. That was really close.
Yeah, it was really close. You know, really the difference is McDonald being a left-hand batter, able to get that extra step, and it makes a difference. We'd have to see a replay to
really close. They want to take a look. So we'll see if we can get a look for you shortly. 5-0 Cal State Fullerton lead. We know the speed that McDonald has and what he brings to the table. Stole 12 bases a season ago on 17 attempts. Let's take another look. An absolute beauty of a save there. Oh, it's close. Really close. But nonetheless, what an effort there from Lada. Let's take another look here. Possibly, let's see if they can slow it down, maybe. It's close. Wow, we figure out that. Hawkinson's going to get some more reps.
I like when obviously we need the slow motion to see. It looks like he beats it barely. Yeah, there. Yeah, tight.
It's close. You can see there, right? It's.
That's the best shot. You can see the baseball entering the glove. You see the foot about as close to the bag as it could get. Yeah, that's not getting overturned.
Nah,
I do like to see the live speed, because that tells you how tough it is for the umpires.
It was. And, you know...
And we had 3 looks. The umpire gets 1 look.
I want to say it's a tie, and tie goes to the runner.
Yeah, it's good looks. Good looks, guys. Basically, they're telling Dietz what we are saying. It's entering the glove as the foot's hitting the base. It's good work all the way around. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking to get, because we get better at showing the replays. You know, the umpires are seeing the replays that we show.
Yes.
So when we show the angles, that gives the umpires the information they need. And that's how it is in a lot of places. The replay system is tied into the TV broadcast.
So it is a single for Court McDonald.
Now in basketball, the referees get a chance to go to the monitor, and it has there's a little bit more control to see angles in basketball replay system than the baseball replay system, just for full disclosure.
Timo Becerra now pinch running for Court McDonald.
Yeah, I thought it was premature that McDonald left the field. I thought, oh, he's just going in because it's a review. You don't know how long it's going to be. He's going to get a drink of water. But I guess he kind of landed funny, reaching for the base right there.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. The 0-1 pitch to Trevor Haskins is screened past the diving effort of Lada into left field. Becerra will advance to second. As Stanford Cardinal back-to-back singles here to start things rolling in the top of the 4th inning will now bring up Rintaro Sasaki.
Well, the Stanford hitters are seeing Hawkinson a little better than they did at the outset. And now Hawkinson has a big challenge here. You see what Sasaki's doing this series with 6 hits and 8 knocked in. No homers yet.
First pitch right at Broadway for called strike number 1. Keyword yet.
I know it.
Right?
And everyone's like on the Titan side, no, Mike, don't say it. Don't say he hasn't homered yet.
I know. It's 50-50. It's hard.
I know. That's a report, though.
The 0-1. Sasaki swings out of his shoes. No balls and 2 strikes. But we've been impressed by him because, you know, I mean, we knew out of the gate before the series started. We knew the power that he brought to the table. I mean, everyone did, right? Especially, you know, the kid that broke Shohei Ohtani's home run record in high school. 0-2. Hit it off the end of the barrel of the stick. Goes foul, no balls and 2 strikes. But just his, you know, ability, right, to not trying to do too much, just trying to put the ball in play using, you know, all outlets of the field. You know, that's what's going to make you a big, you know, part in not only college ball, but MLB too, right? It's just finding a way to get on. Really come in clutch with runners in scoring position. Already has 1 already with a runner on second. The 0-2. Just a bit outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fans voicing their opinion here in Goodwin Field. Awfully close. Not much from any frame from Ortega. Much that seemed like it was needed. The 1-2. In the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sasaki 0 for 1. Grounded out to second in his first plate appearance. Haskins runner on first. Timo Becerra comes in pinch running for Court McDonald. He is the runner on second base. 2-2. Swinging it foul near the Cardinal on deck circle.
So far, solid pitching by Hawkinson. He had the weak ground foul. He had an off-balance swing. You see Sasaki getting timed up a little better there on that one. Now he still needs to make that one more pitch. The battle's not over until it's won.
2-2. In the air, but foul and out of play. Into the seats it goes. Was hoping it was going to go to the press box, but it's okay. Maybe we'll get a souvenir later on as the season continues.
Another good inside pitch there to Sasaki. That's how close it was.
Well, now you see who got the baseball, so I might have to have a quick word with them after. Just kidding. Happy you got it. Maybe I'll give him a high five later. Good job.
You better be ready for the snow cone ticket or something.
Yes, exactly, right? The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Sasaki as Hawkinson proving why he's an artist, painting the corners left and right with a big strikeout here at the top of the 4th.
And that's just the second strikeout all weekend for Sasaki. Since back in the first game, he struck out looking against Turner. First time he's been tied up, first time he's been struck out swinging.
5 strikeouts for the southpaw and counting. First pitch to Som, drives that one. Certainly have to add Hawkinson to that list as well. The 1-1, that one is smoked down the left field line. It's a fair ball. Rounding third, coming in and scoring is Becerra. They're going to hold Haskins at third. An RBI stand-up double for Charlie Som as Stanford Cardinal get their first run in the ball game. 5-1, Titans still lead.
Off-speed pitch. And it's good hit, just good hitting by Som. You're hoping to catch a batter like that off balance, but he's really timed up there and gets the bat head down to it, even though it wasn't necessarily to the inside. Gets the bat head down and pulls it right down the line, and it must have landed right on the chalk. Wasn't any room for error, it didn't look like.
Somm continuing to show off his power. Had one base hit last game, which of course everyone knows was that deep home run. Softly hit grounder to Latta, throws on the run across the diamond in time for another out. Haskin comes and scores. 5-2 Titans lead still in the top of the fourth.
Jacob Shard did a good job on the ball that was in the corner. It played pretty nice and easy bounce for him down there in the corner, kept the runners from advancing all the way home. Even though Stanford comes back and gets the guy in from third on the next swing.
Here comes Brady Reynolds. He as well had a home run last game deep to left center field. Had 3 total base hits. Got on base 4 out of his 6 plate appearances a game ago in the 14-11 victory against the Titans. Reynolds is 0 for 1, a strikeout swinging back in the second inning. Somm is runner on third. 2 outs here on the top of the fourth. Cardinal already putting 2 runs, but you still like to see the life coming out of Hawkinson's here today.
Yeah, he didn't really make, I'd say, a bad pitch on that one to Somm. Somm just did a good job getting on it. And Hawkinson continues to battle it.
In the dirt.
You know, he's got the lead. Faced that top of the order a couple times. You know, you get them once, that's solid, and then they might come back and get you. But that's just kind of the way it goes.
No one's warming up in the Titan pen. They're going to try to keep Hawkinson as long as possible. Swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt, picked up by Ortega. Throws the first. They got him. 2 strikeouts this inning. 6 total for Peyton Hawkinson. Continues to be on a roll, but not until Stanford puts 2 runs on the board. All thanks to 3 base hits, including a double from Charlie Somm. 5-2 Titan lead. Bottom of the fourth we go on ESPN+. Welcome back. 5-2 Titan lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Couple of defensive changes for the Stanford Cardinal. So after Timo Becerra was pinch hitting, or rather, check that, pinch running for Court McDonald after he had to fight his way to grab that infield single after hitting it to short just a half an inning ago. Timo Becerra will now be at shortstop, as that will move Bates from shortstop to now center field. So again, Charlie Bates will now be in center. Timo Becerra will now be at shortstop. For the Stanford Cardinal defensively, again in the outfield from left to right, Marsh, Bates, Reynolds in the infield now, Haskins, Becerra, Nadai, and Sasaki. Lavin behind the dish. 9-1 and 2. Isaiah Gomez, Eli Lopez, and Carter Johnstone. Get a chance here on the bottom of the fourth inning. Reimers sets and deals a check swing. Gomez pulls around. No balls and a strike.
I have to interrupt you, Robbie, because we have Titan royalty in the house. His name is Mark Collins, Titan Athletics Hall of Famer. One of the greatest Titans that ever was on the football field, and made an outstanding pro career for himself, winning a couple of Super Bowls with the Giants. Played with the Giants, Chiefs, and even stopped in with the Packers. And Mark Collins is here. That's for the Titan fans of a long time. Mark Collins, a big-time name.
0-2, high chopper, grabbed by Haskins, throws it across the diamond. Sasaki applies the tag to get Gomez out for the first out here in the bottom of the fourth.
Now in the Bay Area where Stanford comes from, they know that Mark Collins was one of the few guys that would really challenge Jerry Rice back in the day on that bump and run coverage.
Inducted in 2007, Mark Collins, of course, with the Titan football program, 1982 through 1985. Also was the PCAA Defensive Player of the Year in 1985 and holds the school record with career interceptions with 20. But of course, you already knew that, Mike.
Speaking of records that won't be broken.
That is true. Mike always has a good eye for Titan royalty. I consider Mike Martinez Titan royalty as well. 1 ball, 1 strike to Eli Lopez. I'm telling you, I know I said every series, but I always have to know, who do you not know? Because every time we're here, there's always someone coming in and saying hi to you at the press box. Here's the 1-1 to Eli Lopez inside. 2-1. 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 error for the Stanford Cardinal. 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors for Cal State Fullerton. Has certainly done a better job cleaning up the defense after giving up 4 errors in the doubleheader. Lopez 1 for 2. Grounded out in his first at-bat to Nadai at second. Single to right field, also coming around and scoring back in the second. Currently batting .250, 3 runs scored so far this season. The 2-2, high, doesn't chase, 3-2. Again, Lopez before today was 2 for 10, including a double, slugging .300, drawing 2 walks as well. Lopez gathers himself the 5'9" junior from Whittier, California. The 3-2 lifts that one to left field, but well foul. Now to play, brings the count right back to 3-2. Again, went to Los Altos High School. Of course, his father attended San Jose State and was drafted by the Yankees back in 2002. 3-2 again, fouled off. We'll do it again.
That was a pretty good era for the Yankees. That's saying a lot. It's not like he was drafted by the Royals back then. Or Tigers.
Indeed. Huge era indeed. Truly one of the best rosters, early 2000s from the Yankees. The 3-2, swing and a miss. Reimers beats out Lopez. 2 up, 2 down here at the bottom of the 4th inning, brings up Carter Johnstone. Johnstone 1 for 2, single to right field, including picking up an RBI. Johnstone collects his first collegiate RBI as well. First pitch taking that one a tad high. 1 ball and no strikes. Johnstone 1 for 2 in total, was batting .300 before today, including already ranking up 2 doubles as well. The 1-0, laced foul. We have the tie-in dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike. Johnstone, the 6'1" freshman from Los Gatos, California. Waits that one in the dirt. 2-1. Also played 3 years of not only baseball, but hockey as well. A batting average of .462 in high school. 2-1. Lifted well, foul, carrying towards the Cal State Fullerton bullpen. It goes 2-2.
So this matchup, we have an Orange County guy playing for Stanford and a Bay Area kid playing for the Titans. Will crisscross.
Of course, Reimers, Lisa Viejo kid from J. Sarah Catholic High School. And, his family is probably happy because I'm sure they'll be here today. That's kind of what it was yesterday, too. A couple of Visalia kids that came over to watch Folchko make his appearance in a Stanford Cardinal uniform. And you love to see it because it shows, the story right between SoCal and NorCal baseball. Certainly competitive, but as a whole, you love to see the competitiveness between ball players developing here in the state of California as a whole. 2-2 upstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes now for the freshman, with Marcos Rosales awaiting on deck. If Reimers can retire Johnstone, it'll be the first 1-2-3 inning for the Cardinal in this matchup. The 3-2. Just a tad high, as once again Johnstone reaches base safely for the second time today, brings up Marcos Rosales.
Hey, we got one. Carter Johnstone. He's been an impact player all weekend. Last time up, singled on the first pitch, and this time he has to go all the way, full count. And what he ends up doing is driving Reimers out of the game, with them having to use another pitcher here before the end of the 4th inning. How important is that?
It's just finding a way to get on base. Before today, had an on-base percentage of .417. As Reimers' day has come to an end, we have a new pitcher for the Stanford Cardinal trying to shut down the door. No lead is ever too safe. Example was last night. So we have a new pitcher. We'll talk more about him when we return right here on ESPN+. Welcome back. He's Michael Martinez. My name is Robbie Loya. Bottom of the 4th inning, Trevor Moore makes his second appearance of the 2025 season. Pitch a total of 42 pitches. Going 1 2/3, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, all of which were earned, including a walk and a strikeout. That was game 2 of the doubleheader back on Saturday, February 15th. A little bit of redemption time for the righty. 6'1" junior out of Golden, Colorado. Pac-12 team champion back in 2003. The NCB AA Stopper of the Year Award watch list. D1 Baseball preseason top 100 relievers. He is ranked number 18. Certainly continually to make his appearance well known. Of course, for Trevor Moore, some people familiar with his father, who played baseball at Stanford at 1992, was a 5th-round draft pick for the Chicago White Sox that season as well. Of course, his father, Tim Moore. No balls and 1 strike. Moore steps off the rubble, fires the first. Sasaki applies the tag, but getting in there safely was Johnstone. Carter Johnstone is the runner on first base. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Marcos Rosales. Runner takes off the throws offline. It hits Johnstone in the back of his back, rather. Baseball goes into right field. And how about that? Johnstone continuing to show off the wheels. His second stolen base today, 3rd of the season, 3 for 3 on an absolute tear. Again, Johnstone, we've been saying it all season, a freshman. He is certainly not playing like one. No balls and 2 strikes for Rosales. Moore checks the runner on second. Johnstone has a good lead. Takes a big secondary. Goes back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rosales, so far today, 1 for 1. Hit a triple to right center field and sacrifice fly He's carrying an RBI to center field in his last AB back in the second inning. It's 2 quick outs from Reimers. Walk Johnstone, decided to go to Trevor Moore to close out the inning here at the bottom of the 4th. Deuces, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tipped off the edge of the barrel. Replay 2 balls and 2 strikes for Marcos Rosales. Batting .250, 3 runs and 2 RBI so far this season for the Titans. The West Covina product, 5'9", re-enters the batter's box. 2-2, well high. Brings the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rosales already been hit by a pitch 3 times this season, including 2 walks. Enter today with an on-base percentage of .500. If you do the math, that's at least half of his plate appearances. He's finding a way to get on base. Here's the payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Down goes Rosales. Moore, 1 up, 1 down, and 1 strikeout. So we head to the top half of inning number 5. 5-2 Titans lead. Mike Martinez will be back on the call right after this on ESPN+.
The newest Titan pitcher to make his debut here, Chris Hernandez, redshirt freshman from Bakersfield. With the Titans holding a 5-2 advantage. And now we get to talk about the final line for Peyton Hawkinson, who went 4 innings, 60 pitches, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. Struck out 6, walked 1 batter. And the Titans stop him at 60 pitches, but Hawkinson might be lining himself up for a start in a 3-game series next week. Today he started game 4, but he certainly did a great job holding down Stanford, which has been a tough challenge all weekend for Titan pitching. 5 runs, 8 hits for Fullerton right now, all 5 for the Titans in the second. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Stanford Cardinal. They scored both their runs in the 4th. So now we go into the 5th. We see Tatum Marsh there. I think he's a budding star as well for Stanford. Their other great star, talked about all winter long coming into the series season. D1 Baseball did several podcasts profiling Rentaro Sasaki and what his impact and presence is going to be here playing in the States. And Rentaro is going to be profiled, I guess, tonight on ESPN Sports Center with Steven Nelson, great Orange County native and Chapman University graduate, now doing double duty with ESPN and working for the Dodgers on the broadcast team. And Steven Nelson is here at the game. So we had Mark Collins, great Titan Hall of Famer, and Steven Nelson, one of the great up-and-coming announcers, formerly of the MLB Network. And he's going to be interviewing Rentaro Sasaki today. 1 ball and no strikes on Luke Lavin. So Marshall hits second this inning. Lavin sees 93 on the inside for strike 1. One ball, 1 strike from Hernandez. And he's pumping in 93, 94. That's got to be the hardest throwing Titan all weekend.
Tad, really quickly mentioning the Dodgers. Another Dodger great that was actually here not too long ago is actually Dave Roberts, when Oklahoma played against Cal State Fullerton softball rather. Since his niece, Ella Parker, was on the Oklahoma squad. So we've seen a couple of individuals from the Dodgers staff here in Fullerton, California.
Nice. Roberts has to get those in, because once he goes into the season, it's 6 to 8 months of work. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Line the other way, out of the reach of Lotta into left. 4th hit for Stanford. Lavin on base for a 2nd time. Chris Hernandez redshirted last year for Fullerton, coming out of Bakersfield Christian. Lavin now on base for Tatum Marsh. Marsh a deep fly out in the third off Hawkinson. And loud contact again. Over third down the left field line. Quickly to the base of the fence. Lavin goes into third standing. Marsh with a double. The first two are on for Stanford in the top of the fifth. Look out, here come the Cardinal.
Hernandez just left that run right over the plate. Too easy for Marsh just to get a handle on it. I mean, we've seen Tatum Marsh in just the power, right? A 3-run bomb over the scoreboard in left field. Again, if you're Hernandez, you're good. Relax a little bit, settle in, just trying to find a way to just really hit your locations over there on the rubber.
Another extra base hit for Tatum Marsh. 1 for 2 in the game today. Now with 2 doubles, a triple, and a homer this weekend. First base open for Charlie Bates, the number 9 hitter, the shortstop. Carter Johnstone in on the grass at third for Fullerton. Gomez even with a bag. Middle infielders are back. Nobody out in the inning. And Hernandez wants to get Bates out. Fastball works the outside and gets strike 1. Bates 2 for 15 this series. The lightest hitting Stanford player. The only batter they've really been able to consistently stop. Trying to change that. A ground ball to first. And Gomez playing even with a bag. That's close enough to keep Lavin at third base. With a threat of a throw to home, Gomez back to the bag to get the out on Bates. 3 unassisted.
Just good looks from Gomez because the momentum, right, of fielding that ground ball, the momentum was going towards home plate. And, you know, Lavin, he was ready to take home, but he had to put the hard brakes on once he saw Gomez's body kind of turning, getting ready to throw to home as Lavin retreats back to his bag.
There's a deep drive by Timo Becerra. Left center for Lopez, deep enough to score Lavin, unless the Titans could get the double up quickly on Marsh coming second and third. The throw bounces in a little bit wide of the bag. The run scores. Timo Becerra with an RBI, his first swing of the day, makes it 5-3. Titans on top, but Stanford now with a tying run at the plate. So a sack, F8 for Timo Becerra. Brings up Trevor Haskins. Haskins 1 for 2 today. Lavin's leadoff single cashed in. Marsh now at third. Slider outside, ball 1.
I'm excited for this matchup. Number 5 versus number 5. See here if Hernandez can get out of a little bit of a jam.
Tried to limit it to 1. Stanford starting their way back. They've just been a very consistent offense. Pitching not able to keep them down. On Saturday night, they scored 3 of the first 4 innings. Got that big lead and rolled on in. Yesterday, ended up scoring 6 times in the first 7 innings. And that's not a problem, I guess, if you're giving 1 or 2, but yesterday Stanford a couple of 3 spots and a 4 spot. That's when things start to get a little bit out of control. 14 runs yesterday for Stanford.
You know, if you're Hernandez, you're going to thank the umpires. They gave him a warning, but technically it's a balk. If you lick your hand a little bit, if you go back to the baseball, that's a balk. They give him a warning.
Good catch, Robbie. Slider popped into right center. Here comes Lopez, a diving catch to save a run. Get Steven Nelson to put that on Sports Center tonight. Eli Lopez, the infielder turned center fielder here in opening weekend, takes a run away and stops the rally at 1. 5-3 Titans. A 5-3 lead for Fullerton only because Eli Lopez explodes out of center field.
Just unbelievable effort, right? I mean, we knew before, the series started, we talking to Dietrich, we were like, okay, we knew Eli Lopez was going to be in the outfield to start off of this one. And he said, we need a guy that we know it's going to step up, that we're confident in to kind of take the reins in the outfield, especially with some injuries. And that certainly has been Lopez. And, I said it once, I said it again. He is truly playing like he's been playing in the outfield through the entirety of his career.
Cal State Fullerton here in the bottom of the fifth. Their 5-0 lead shrunk to 5-3. And Jacob Sharp leads off with Kirchner and Latta. Sharp 0 for 2 today. 2 groundouts. Facing his third different pitcher as Trevor Moore picked up 1 out in the fourth. Strike 1 to Jacob Sharp. Shard goes in the air to left center. Looks playable for McDonald. About 15 feet from the 385 sign. Sorry, Bates out in center. Thank you, Robbie. That was a change I had missed. With Becerra coming into the game replacing McDonald. Becerra went to short and Bates moved to center where he's been all weekend until today. Their SID told me that David Esker just likes to collect shortstops. Esker, being a former shortstop himself, that's a position he really has an eye for. He brings in a lot of guys, and in the past, a guy like Tommy Troy may have played elsewhere on the infield, but shortstop being his position, now he's in the pros and plays shortstop. Even though at Stanford there were so many shortstop, he really didn't play that position. So Bates is one of those guys, infielder, shortstop, but athletic enough to play center. 0-1 here to Andrew Kirchner, and he swings an off-speed pitch, and it's strike 2. Trevor Moore pitching for Stanford. And there's a check swing. See about a, nope, not even see down to third with McMahon. McKinley at home plate rings up Kirchner on the swing. 2 down for the Titans in the 5th.
It's tough. It can go either way. I get Kirchner's frustration. I was like, hey, you can't see from that angle. At least appeal to Matt McMahon at third. But the crew chief, Rob McKinley, a very confident one around. See the frustration, but it was too close to call. One that you just got to be a little more patient up in the batter's box, which now brings up Maddox Latta.
Trevor Moore has retired all 3 batters he has faced. Starts Maddox Latta off with a little bit of a hook there on the inside, strike 1. Moore winning the strike zone. One of our keys to the game and series, brought to you by Embassy Suites Brea. Full breaking ball that time, and Latta fouls it away. Down 2 strikes. Latta picking things up today with a single and a double. A run scored. That double, though, the last hit for the Titans. Big hook inside. 1-2. Only 1 base runner since the Latta double in the 3rd inning. They had a chance to catch him in. That was a 1-out double. Didn't get him in. And you see the Stanford's coming back, and you're going to try to convert all those opportunities because you need them. Outside cutter on the corner. Strike 3 called. And there's some disagreement about that. I think our shot from center field might agree with Latta's disagreement. 5-3. Stanford coming up in the 6th. Dropping the first 3 games to Stanford. Trying to salvage the 4th before Stanford goes home. And Stanford is going to host Washington, their old Pac-12 rival, Friday through Monday again next week. And then they host Xavier before going to North Carolina for ACC play. Rentaro Sasaki against Chris Hernandez. Hernandez lets that fastball fly up high. Ball 1. Sasaki, the dangerous one. Put base hits all over the ballpark, maybe except for left in the left field line. But left center, center, and right. Inside. The Titans making a move today, maybe with a couple of harder throwers like a Hawkinson. Certainly that was a left-on-left matchup. And now Hernandez firing a good velo, trying to work him inside and change where his eyes are looking. See if they can catch him out over the plate and bust him back inside. 2-0. But arm side, Hernandez not able to control it, and the count goes to 3-0.
You kind of see the adjustments that Hernandez is trying to make, right? He left some fastballs over the plate, and that's how Stanford got started with Lavin. Likewise for Mars. So you could see he's kind of trying to just pitch a little more carefully to Sasaki.
4-pitch walk to start the 6th, and the tying run is up again for Stanford. Got a Titan in the bullpen, a right-hander. Can't quite catch the number just yet. Charlie Som at the plate. RBI double in the 4th, his last time up, 1 for 2 today. And through the legs, off the glove of Ortega to the backstop. Allows Sasaki to go to second. That ball was low, but I think should have been caught by Ortega. It wasn't in the dirt.
Yeah, went out of his glove. It was just a miscue between Ortega and Hernandez. Just wanted to make sure that they were kind of on the same page. I don't know what he was looking for, but and it's one of those. It's a tough situation, right? Again, they just want to make sure everything's still on the, on the same page, and rightfully so. You're up by 2 here in the top of the 6th inning. There's still so much game left, and actually they go ahead and mark it as a wild pitch. So a wild pitch allows Sasaki to move over to the second base bag and gives an opportunity for Charlie Som with no outs here with the runner in scoring position here in the top of the 6th.
One ball and no strikes to Som. Sliders in there. Som 4 hits this weekend. 1-1. Fastball, he lines it to right field. Right to Kirchner. Sasaki tags up and he ends up winning the race with the baseball just barely, although the baseball was a little off the bag. And that kind of helped because for a second it looked like the Titans might double up Sasaki. He was not necessarily running. He's running hard, but it didn't seem like he got a great jump.
It happens, but hey, he got there. So works out in Som's favor to move the runner. You did your job, and next thing you know, if you're Nat-Eye, you put anything on the right-hand side, possibly could bring in another run to put this game within 1 here in the top of the 6th.
Jason Krukoski, a sophomore from Livermore, second-year Titan, is pretty close to ready. Dietz is out there right now. It's a one-out situation. Sasaki did get himself to third. They love to see that. Offensive player, very well aware, situational. He was great situationally as a hitter this weekend, and making sure he got himself to third on that first out. So Dietz talking just with his pitcher. Hernandez maybe sees some mechanical stuff and, just trying to give him a little pep talk before he goes off, as it turns out. Krukoski going to come in for the Titans here on the top of the 6th with 1 out. Stanford. And the Titans are trying to hold them at bay. That's Jason Krakowski warming up for Fullerton. Like his, like the Stanford starter, Parker Warner, Krakowski from Livermore. He transferred to the Titans. Krakowski also from Granada High School, Livermore, California, east of Oakland, a little past Pleasanton, Dublin area. And like the guys who have preceded him this weekend, the guys who pitched last year, we get to see what the sophomore season maybe not will look like, but will start like. Hey, what kind of trajectory are they on? I think we've seen a little bit mix of both. Guys that are still kind of working themselves to really being relied upon, and guys who maybe are ready. Peyton Hawkinson, great showing today, and Krakowski trying to follow that.
And he's certainly that guy. I mean, you know, right, as a freshman, he made 18 appearances a season ago with a 2-1 record with a 4.98 ERA. So over 21 2/3 innings pitched with 10 walks and 20 strikeouts. You like that walk to strikeout ratio from the righty. So it's good to see him out, and again, I wouldn't be shocked at all if they're really going to heavily rely on the sophomore here this season.
Krakowski's first pitch to Jimmy Nadai is popped up, way up on the infield. It's going to Lada at short, and Sasaki cannot advance.
Just what a good pitch placement, right? I mean, in a way, when you're down by or up by 2, especially against this tough Cardinal team who we are well aware of can just knock it out of the ballpark, right? So it's interesting to see some of the defensive changes. You kind of see that they're acting and playing, right? Like it's a one-run game with the infield coming in. We still see Johnson at third, but a key out there from the righty. Job well done.
And Nada was going for an RBI on the first swing. If not one, then maybe 2, and they got him to pop up. Brady Reynolds 6 for 14 now this weekend. 6 hits coming into the game. He's been stopped on 2 strikeouts, both by Hawkinson, both swinging. That was a left-on-left matchup. Now he sees a righty for the first time today. And in the dirt, Ortega with a stop, 1-1. Krakowski playing up near his hometown of Livermore last year, made his college debut for Fullerton on the Sunday game, getting 5 outs against Stanford in what was a 4-1 Stanford win. 2 balls and a strike. Krakowski was first out of the bullpen in relief of Chad Gurney in the 5th, pitched the 5th and 6th innings. 2 balls and a strike to Reynolds. Here's the key pitch, a 2-1. Went fastball, 94 on the reading. Reynolds didn't bat an eye on it as it was up high. First base is open. Here's a 3-1. Spots up a fastball at 93. Just there, the down away call, 3-2.
I know the coaching staffs and the dugouts don't like it, but I mean, McKinley's been consistent with it.
A late swing had Brady Reynolds guessing there and got him slider there on the outside. A big strikeout, the leadoff walk, and subsequent runner at third stranded, and the Titans still lead at 5-3. 5-3 Titans, bottom of the 6th inning. I think right now a win is very important to Fullerton. Feel a little bit better about the series. You're still going to get out of the series and hopefully think about 2 games that you pitched well. Second game for Negretti, excellent. Titans lost 6-3, but it was really the defense. Stanford held to just 5 hits. Yesterday, offense on both sides. Today, good pitching by Fullerton today. And that shows you what you can do going forward. Stanford might be the best team the Titans face all season in a weekend. They play Oregon State later. We talked about that yesterday. But either the top one or top two teams the Titans are going to play, it's an offense that might be similar to a Santa Barbara or UC Irvine, kind of a combination of both. So you do have to take some positives where you can get them at this point, while you're also trying to get any wins you can.
Exactly.
0-1 to Max Ortega.
Exactly right. You're going to look back. You're going to look back at the tapes, right? And for Cal State Fullerton, a lot of positives. It took a little bit for games 1 and 2, right, to kind of get the offense going, try to start your offensive production, and then later of the series continues, right, we've been seeing more offensive production early on as the game, gets rolling, right. It's been the first, 3 innings for the last 2 games that we've been seeing Cal State Fullerton on a run. Defense has cleaned up a little bit, and that's what practice is there for, to go back, see what we need to do to improve on from the series, and defense, hitting, and, for pitching, and, pitching is a thing that's just going to take time for everyone, right? It's just all about developing, growing your guys. That is something that Jason Diedrich preaches, and especially of him being a pitch-minded type of guy, it's a good mind to have as a Cal State Fullerton head coach. And it's just one of those things that's just going to take time to put everything together.
You're right about that. The offense did come around later in the weekend, and not just for a 1 spot or 2 spots. They had some big rallies in there, including today. They're really still living off that 5-run second inning. Ortega swings on a fastball, and he stays alive, 3-2. 1,900 people in the park yesterday, and we're somewhere between a midweek crowd and a weekend crowd. I could sense that people did have the day off today, maybe a little bit more so than on a midweek. Still, we'll get part 3 of the 3-2 matchup here. 5 runs, 8 hits for Fullerton, though without a hit right now since Lotta's double in the 3rd. So now you have to pick that up. You don't want to go into those dry spells. You want to kind of get that right. Now, hey, yeah, we got that big spot. Now we got to get a little more consistency, because early in the series it was too much dry, too much of a drought.
That's what it is, consistency. I mean, that's going to play a big factor. You don't want to be up and down, And that's the hard part of this game, right? The game of failure. It just got to be consistent. That's something that, Diedrich's been saying and wanting to get a spot.
Ortega on a 3-2 pitch to deep left. Home run, Max Ortega. A leadoff home run in the bottom of the 6th. The Titans lead it 6-3. He won that battle. It was 3-2. And he ended up fouling off a couple of 3-2 pitches.
Let's take another look on ESPN Plus. Max Ortega absolutely scorches this baseball deep to left field. It was a good battle, but one mistake pitch cost the Stanford Cardinal a run. Just like that, the Titans are up by 3 here in the bottom of the 6th.
It's his 2nd career home run. First since 2023. Matthew Bardwell at the plate. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes on Bardwell. That's the first home run of the season for Fullerton as well. The kids up on the balcony of Dietz's office went to go see it fly by. Bardwell on a breaking ball, swing and a miss. A strikeout for Moore, his 4th. So now you have a little bit of pitching today. You have some offense. You have some slug. You have some power.
We're seeing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Yeah, I know. When you get beat 13-1 in a 7-inning run rule game opening of the series and season, hope plummets. Hope springs eternal when you hit baseball season, but that takes a lot out of people when it's that far a margin. And then baseball, you just have to play. You just have to keep playing. Come back the next day and make it a little better. And it's still not over. You got to get 9 big outs against the Stanford team to finish it off and get at least one. 1 ball and 1 strike on Isaiah Gomez. He was pretty close to the first Titan home run of the season. Back in the second, he went opposite way off the wall. Then a ground out in the fourth. 1 for 2. 3 hits this weekend. Breaking ball, Moore likes that pitch. And he'll snap it off pretty good most of the time. 1-2 now. Six runs, 9 hits for Fullerton. 3 runs, 5 hits, and an error for Stanford. 1-2 from Moore. That was a chase and miss type breaking ball. No swing. The error for Stanford was not costly, only on that particular play. The runs that the Titans have scored have all been earned today. 3-2 to Isaiah Gomez. Outside, ball 4.
This is what I've been wanting to see, right? Kind of take your time. I mean, we're seeing a little bit of everything, right? Be aggressive, but you can kind of see how patient Cal State Fullerton is at the plate, and it's more so they got a game plan. That's what it comes down to. You have to have a game plan before you enter the batter's box. Like right now, right? You want to see what Trevor Moore's been throwing, and if you're Eli Lopez, you know, you've been seeing Moore for quite some time now. So it just comes into formation of, okay, what pitch am I looking for? Am I looking for a fastball in, maybe something off speed? Just find a way to drive it in a big gap there in left center.
Lopez sees the first pitch, breaking ball for strike 1. The count was 3-2 on Gomez. I don't know if people ever think of count leverage at 3-2, but because of what Ortega did on 3-2 with a home run, that seemed to maybe factor in, and Moore wasn't close with his pitch. 1-1 on Lopez. Left-hander in the Stanford bullpen is Sam Garrawal, 6'4" junior from San Diego. Transferred from another smart school at Northwestern. Lopez chops the 1-1, side of the mound for the third baseman Haskins. Looked like Gomez was going there, and so there's no chance at a force. Gives Carter Johnstone a chance to drive in a run here with 2 out.
Yeah, the hit and run was on, and, you know, it's smart. Move Gomez up a little bit, put the runner in scoring position, and it sets up a huge opportunity for Carter Johnstone, who's already reached base safely in 2 out of his last 3 attempts, back-to-back times he reached on. So, and again, if you can get Johnson on, especially with a speed threat he is, already having 3 stolen bases of the season, it's a good opportunity to get some more runs here for the Titans.
Maybe a little bit of a stall tactic. Maybe they go to Garrawal here left on left, because Johnstone has been a producer for Fullerton this weekend, and really good situational play by the Titans. A 1-1 count on Lopez. He had already kind of used 2 breaking balls, so you're more likely to see maybe a straight pitch on the third one. They put the runner in motion. And then it works if you don't hit into a line drive double play and something like that. All right, that's going to be it for Moore. He'll give way to the lefty-lefty matchup. Bottom of the 6th, 2 out. Runner in scoring position. 6-3 Titans. Mike Martinez in. Robbie Loya. Sam Garwal from San Diego, transfer from Northwestern, in to try to get Carter Johnstone. Big spot here. What do we have on Garwal? Looked like he had missed last year with injury after transferring from Northwestern. Hey, there we are on camera. Hi, everybody. Mike Martinez, Robbie. Exciting game, kind of what we thought, what we hoped, to be competitive with a Stanford team that is going to make a big jump this year. Not only to the ACC, but basically off their year last year. They should be a lot better. It looks like they already are. And the Titans really brought their competitive juice, and it's showing today.
Most definitely, and you said it right. I mean, again, one of the top teams in the ACC. It's their first time, right? A Stanford squad that we knew was going to give Cal State Fullerton a run with their money, and, there was kind of a lot of, question marks with the first two games with Stanford just putting it on Cal State Fullerton. But again, right, it comes back to short-term memory, and we've seen that a lot from Cal State Fullerton today with their offensive production early. Now it's just more of just trying to stay consistent on the offensive side. But I also like seeing what I've been seeing with this pitching staff, right? And a lot of, situations they had trying to get out of jams, and Krakowski's certainly been a guy to do that. So again, it just more comes to just getting their feet wet. It's opening series, so a lot of ball games left to be played for this season, for the continuation of this Titan program to continue to get better and continue to succeed on the diamond.
And here's a key spot. There's Garwal. .90-mile-an-hour pitch, low for ball one. First time we're seeing Sam Garwal. He's a 6'4" junior lefty from San Diego. He was at Northwestern in 2023, was all Big Ten freshman team with 49 innings and 48 strikeouts. Used as a reliever and a starter. Missed last year for injury. 2 balls and no strikes. Johnstone has really been managing the counts very well, and even managing to where they've been pitching him backwards a couple of times. He's handled that well. Another hitter's count here, 2-1. Three balls and 1 strike. Walk on a 3-2 count to Carter Johnstone, on base for the 3rd time today.
Fear Garwal, again, you missed last season due to an injury. Your first time back on the road. A little bit of a tough spot with the runner on first and second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's your time to shine, but Rosales, likewise for him too.
Rosales sees a high pitch come in ball 1. Ty Huber in the bullpen for Stanford. First and second, Titans, 2 out. Big spot for Rosales, who has an RBI and a sac fly, 1 for 2 with a triple. Gomez, your lead runner at second. Strike 2.
I'm liking what I'm seeing, right? Kind of starts off outside, works her way more inside a little bit. 1 and 2. I'd like to see the infield playing a little bit deep in the infield a little bit.
That's a fastball 1-2. Rosales hits it well to deep left center. Marsh catches it just before the fence. And that stops the Titans at 1 run in the 6th. The leadoff home run by Ortega. The Titans lead 2. Lead by 3 after 6. Robbie's coming back with play-by-play in the 7th.
Top of the 7th inning, 6-3, Cal State Fullerton on top. Huge home run by Max Ortega in the left field area to give a chance for Cal State Fullerton to extend their lead, their first run all the way back since inning number 2. Jason Krakowski back for another inning of work for Cal State Fullerton. A student athlete, rather, to see a lot, to just get more opportunities. Again, I know he had quite a few appearances, 18 a season ago. I heavily relied on a reliever. Wouldn't be surprised if that stays the same this season. Comes, of course, from an athletic family. His grandfather played professional football for Washington back in '61, and from the Oakland Raiders, not the Vegas, the Oakland Raiders from '62 to '66, and then his uncle also played for Washington in 1986. So I don't know if he got the memo, but I think he's still happy other than this to be in a Titan uniform and play some baseball. Maybe he was born earlier, he would have been a football player at Cal State Fullerton.
Well, I'm sure his uncle and his grandfather, if they're anything like all the football players that I've met, all the older football players that I've met, they would have told him, play baseball, don't play football. Every old, when I was a kid, my dad would, we'd be places and we'd recognize somebody and we'd go up and my dad would say, hey, he wants to play football. And they would say, don't play football, play any other sport besides football.
Hey, it's working out, though, for Jason, in my opinion. 3 balls and no strikes, 7, 8, and 9. Lavin, Marsh, and Bates due up in the top of the 7th inning for the Cardinal. 3-0 pitch, right down the heart of the plate for a strike, 3-1. 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. 6 runs on 9 hits, no errors for the Titans. Just a tad outside, a 5-pitch walk. Lavin gets aboard for the 3rd time, reached base safely on all of his plate appearances today, brings up Tatum Marsh.
Kind of funny how every day that Stanford has a guy that, well, that day's his day, and there's not a lot of damage by Lavin, but he's on base. He's on base 3 times, and that's helping out the guys behind him.
And especially his on-base percentage as well. First pitch to the left fielder. It's going to miss for ball 1. Ortega asks for tie, wants to slow down Krakowski a little bit.
This guy behind Lavin doesn't need much more advantage because Marsh is a dangerous one.
I see Andrew Miller, the 6'6" freshman, warming up in the Titan bullpen, more so just stretching. Here's the 1-0 to Tatum. Just a tad high, 2 balls and no strikes. Again, Krakowski, a 6'3" sophomore from Livermore, California. Recorded 20 strikeouts and 21 2/3 innings pitched a season ago. Low leg kick, seals and deals, called strike, 2-1. Again, we know the power that Marsh brings to the table. The San Jose, California product. It's a 2-1 pitch from Krakowski. Big cut, big miss. Deuces, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tatum Marsh, 1 for 2. Flew out to center field back in the 3rd inning and then doubled to left field back in the 5th inning. So far this season for Marsh, batting .455 with 4 runs batted in. 2-2 gets away from Ortega on the inside part of the plate as Lavin will hold at first base. "12 pitches for Krakowski before this AB. 1 walk and 1 strikeout so far. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and foul behind the backstop. Replay, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Charlie Bates will be awaiting on deck. 0 for 2. Grounded out to a double play via 3-6 back in the 3rd inning, and then grounded out once more to Gomez at first back in the 5th inning. We talked about how Stanford's, more so the bottom of the lineup has been productive. Hasn't been the case really at all in this matchup. Besides Lavin, who's gotten on base every single time, only 2 hits from the 5 through 9 hitters. As this one is well high. It's a skyscraper for Lotta. He'll make the grab, calls off the outfielders in shallow left center for out number 1.
That's really tough pitching there by Jason Krakowski, that he goes heavy fastball against a hitter that has 4 extra base hits this weekend. And he gets them. Not only did he get him on the pop-up there, but he got him really a couple of times just fouling it back. And still didn't deviate. They still didn't deviate from the plan. They liked it. It played well enough, and they got him an out.
Here comes the Palo Alto, California product. He's not wasting any time. Swing on the first pitch, a fastball. Ortega saying that it's got some movement, wants to continue that pitch. Swinging amidst there. The 6-foot freshman. Baseball America preseason top 25 freshman, currently ranked 16. The 0-1 outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to the lefty. Perfect game. Preseason top 75 freshman, currently ranked 7. So Rawlings All-American first team a season ago. Also MLB/USA Baseball All-American High School National Team back in 2023. The 2-1. Bates slashes that one foul near the sign on deck, circle 2-2.
So Charlie Bates, being a freshman, he's wearing number 10. Last couple of years, number 10 was worn by Malcolm Moore, the catcher who came in freshman stud in 2023. And when we came to the series, I thought, oh, where's Malcolm Moore? Well, he was eligible for the draft last year, even after his second year, because he was already 21.
1 hop scoop by Rosales to Lotta to Gomez. Yes, sir! 4-6-3 double play, and that will do it. But a time to be alive here in Fullerton, California. Titans up 6-3. We head to the bottom of the 7th right here on ESPN Plus. The San Diego, California product himself, Sam Garwal, back for another inning of work. The 6'4" junior getting ready. Of course, all Big Ten freshman team after pitching 49 innings with 48 strikeouts for Northwestern while making 15 appearances and 8 starts back in 2023. Was San Diego Pitcher of the Year back in 2022. Get to see more of what he's made of, but this time repping a Stanford Cardinal uniform. Bottom of the 7th, we got to stretch. We hope you got to stretch as well. 4, 5, and 6. Jacob Sharp, Andrew Kirshner, and Maddox Lotta. Duo for the Titans here in the bottom half of inning number 7. 6-3 Titans lead. 5 out of the 6 runs for the Titans coming in inning number 2. Max Ortega
extended the Cal State Fullerton lead to 3 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. An absolute bomb to left field. Here comes none other than Jacob Schartz, hitless today. 0 for 3 with 2 ground outs, including flying out to center field back in the 5th inning. Schartz currently batting .214, 2 runs, 3 RBIs so far. Big hack, big miss, no balls, and 2 strikes for the left-handed hitter. Kirshner's batting .333, likewise for Maddox Lotta. Garwell from the stretch, a little bit too high. Gets right back onto the rubber, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trevor Moore, his final stat line, 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 of which was earned. A walk, including 4 strikeouts as Shark goes down on strikes for the first out in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Cardinal. Here comes Andrew Kirshner. 1 for 3 today, including a strikeout in his last AB back in the 5th inning. Single to right field back in the 2nd inning, coming around and scoring. Kirshner, Lakewood, California guy from Golden West College. Fastball missing outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Gonna be a little bit, almost a little bit now, under a month until the next Cal State Fullerton home series, which will be against UC San Diego to start off Big West Conference play. Next home game will be February 25th, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time against the USC Trojans. And they'll head on the road and they will return on March 4th, Tuesday, to take on San Diego State, and then another midweek against USC again on March 11th. And the next thing you know, Big West play will be right around the corner for a 3-game set with the Tritons. The 1-2. Lunging, and that one was Kirshner, fouled away. Preseason polls, Cal State Fullerton tied with 8 after finishing 10th of the Big West last season. The Titans picked 8th with Long Beach State in the Big West preseason poll. The Titans received a total of 36 points in the poll, with UC Santa Barbara finished the pick in first with 99. Kirshner goes down looking at that one. His 2nd strikeout, this one a backwards K. 2 up, 2 down, 2 strikeouts for Sam Garwell. Bring up Maddox Lotta here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Lotta 2 for 3 today. Single to right field and then a double to left center back in the 3rd inning was called, looking at strikes back in the 5th inning. So far, pitching staff-wise for the Stanford Cardinal, 7 total strikeouts. 7 strikeouts and 28 total plate appearances for the Titans into this one. Cal State Fullerton pitching staff also has 7 strikeouts as well, compared to Stanford's 23 total at-bats. I think the big difference that I'm looking at least the stat line for today's game, is the OPS. 946 for the Titans, 601 for the Cardinal. Garwell for the stretch. 1-1, swing and a miss, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs with no one on here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As for the Stanford Cardinal, in the top half of inning number 8, 1, 2, and 3, Timo Becerra, Trevor Haskins, and Rentaro Sasaki will be due up next for the Cardinal in the top half, the 8th. The 1-2. fouled away all the way, going to Anderson Family Field. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Max Ortega is on deck. 2 for 3 today, including 2 RBIs, one of which coming from the big fly, rather, to left field, back of the 6th inning. The 1-2. High cheese goes in and out of the glove of Lavin behind the dish. It's about time that Titan baseball returns to Goodwin Field. We talked about it earlier, right? Yeah, you're wrong, possibly with no football, but hey, at least you got college baseball back, right? How about this one? Lotta drives this baseball to right field. It drops for a base hit. As Maddox Lotta, the shortstop, extends the 7th inning, gives an opportunity for Max Ortega to do some more damage.
3-hit day for Maddox Lotta.
2 for 3 today, including a home run. 2 RBIs today. Also flew out to second base back in the 3rd inning. Probably still see continuation of Ortega and Perez switching behind the dish, especially since this weekend just the games have been quite long. Again, yesterday's game being 3 hours and 35 minutes long. Even the 7-inning game, the 13-1 loss, 2 hours and 40 minutes long. So tears your body a little bit, especially when you're behind the dish for that long. Garwong, back-to-back opportunities, wants to check Lotta at first base. Carter Johnstone, the only Titan student athlete that has any stolen bases. He has 3 on 3 attempts. As Ortega smacks that baseball to left center field. That goes all the way to the warning track, as they're going to wave around Maddox Lotta. The throw to the plate, not in time. How about that? An RBI double for Max Ortega, putting on an absolute hitting clinic here today.
3rd hit. He has 3 legs of the cycle. And Maddox Lotta goes full board here. He knows the throw is coming. Ends up eating a little dirt at the end of that slide, but he got up and he didn't care.
Not one bit.
Because that's an important run right there. That's 2 out. That's Max Ortega. That's your 6 and 7 hitters getting something done with 2 out, nobody on base.
It was 5-3 Cal State Fullerton in the 6th. Ortega goes yard. And again, Ortega continues to extend to now 7-3 in favor of Cal State Fullerton. New pitcher on the bump. We're going to step aside, take a quick break. We'll be back after this on ESPN Plus.
That's a U.
New pitcher on the rubber for the Stanford Cardinal, the 6'4" senior out of Cameron Park, California, Ty Huber. We did see him couple of days ago, got the final 4 outs out of the 6-3 Stanford Cardinal victory. In that game, of 6 scoreless innings from Christian Lim. Trevor Moore came into that one. Now it sets up an opportunity for Ty Huber, a 2-time Pac-12 team champ. Missed last season due to injury. In his sophomore season, made 13 appearances, including 3 starts, while compiling a 1-0 record and a 9.86 ERA over 21 innings, including throwing 20 strikeouts. Comes in a situation with Max Ortega being the runner at second. 2 RBI day for the kid, or check that rather, a 3 RBI day. Should rather say continuous for this kid. As again, Max Ortega's the runner on second, scoring Lotta from first all the way to home, brings up Matthew Bardwell. So looking for his first base hit of the season. First pitch to Bardwell will be in there for a called strike, 0-1. So far in the season, Bardwell 0 for 6. Today 0 for 3, including a strikeout. Does have a run into a fielder's choice at shortstop back in the first inning. Isaiah Gomez is on deck. 2 outs with a runner on second here in the bottom half of inning number 7. 7-3 Titans lead. With Ty Huber, the new Stanford Cardinal pitcher. That one gets away from Lavin as Ortega thinks about it, decides to hold at second. So no harm, no foul for the right-handed pitcher.
Probably a smart move by Ortega. That ball's trailing to third. Lavin was right with it. So if Ortega made his break, Lavin gets to it and has a short little throw.
1-2 gets away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Huber, one of the most athletic student athletes from the Stanford Cardinal roster in high school, competed in football, baseball, and basketball. For football and basketball, he was selected in all-league selection in both sports. That one gets away. Good eyes there from Bardwell. Now sits up 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs with Ortega being the runner in scoring position for the Titans here in the bottom of the 7th. Payout pitch, swing and a miss. Down goes Bardwell. But Cal State Fullerton, they get one more run on 2 hits. 1 man left on base in the bottom of the 7th RBI, courtesy of Max Ortega. We head to the top half of the 8th inning. 7-3 Titans lead on ESPN Plus. For the Stanford Cardinal, 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. As for the Titans of Cal State Fullerton, 7 runs on 11 hits, no errors. This has been the offensive production that we've been waiting for all weekend long, and still a couple more innings to go. Cal State Fullerton 6 outs away from clinching their first victory of the 2025 season, as Jason Kokowski back for another inning of work so far, pitching 1 2/3 innings pitched, total of 25 pitches, only giving up 1 walk and striking out 1 as well through the first 5 batters that he has faced here in this one. 1, 2, and 3 due up Timo Becerra, Trevor Haskins, and Rentaro Sasaki will be due up here in the top half of inning number 8 for the Cardinal. A check swing. They appeal to first as Jeff Clough over there at the first baseline said he went around. No balls at a strike. Becerra 0 for 1 today. Or check that rather. Had a sacrifice fly to center field collecting RBI, so no official AB for Timo Becerra. Was actually not slated to start this game. He pinch ran for Court McDonald back in the 4th inning after McDonald left after a hard 90, maybe a little bit too hard after getting an infield single to Lada at shortstop. It was a great defensive effort from the shortstop. McDonald beats it out in time, leaves the game. Becerra takes over. Becerra batting .417, 4 runs, 5 runs batted in this season. Awaits for a called strike 2. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Becerra, the 6'1" senior out of Clovis, California. 2-2, chop foul. Becerra appeared in 54 games, starting 53 a season ago, batting .298 with 27 runs scored, 8 doubles, a triple, and 18 RBIs. Batted .313 with 12 runs scored, along with 7 doubles, a triple, and 8 RBIs in Pac-12 play. So 2021 graduate of Buchanan High School in Clovis, California. Won the CIF Division I championship back in 2021 as well. 3-2. 1, 2, and 3. The Haskins waiting on deck. 1 for 3, singling back in the 4th inning. The payoff pitch, that one is screamed up the middle. Talk about great timing from Becerra. Right up the middle as the leadoff man gets aboard for the Cardinal here in the top of the 8th. Again, we saw Andrew Miller kind of stretching earlier in the bullpen. It seems this time, though, they're going to try to go to a righty instead, possibly if need to be. As you know, the last, I would say, it was Grapevine, Negretti, and Wright. Only Titan pitchers to pitch in Game 2 over that doubleheader. As last night for the Titans had to go to 5 pitchers. The 0-1 in the dirt. 1 ball to 1 strike. Last game, Dylan Smith started. Went to Chad Gurney, Dylan Goff, Ryan Folks, and Brady Dockin, who really announced his appearance and his arrival, rather, in the Titan uniform. Going 2 full innings, giving up 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Really keeping this Stanford offense in check.
That's hard to do it when you're the guys before you didn't do so well. So credit to Dockin. See what kind of spot he can earn next week when they go to Fresno State. I think we see guys here that are pitching here on Monday going to pitch on the regular weekend next week against Fresno.
2-1 in the air, well playable for Gomez, and foul ground on the first base side makes the grab for the first out here in the top of the 8th inning.
And what does Dietz talk about all the time to us? So you know he's talking about it to his guys. Command of the strike zone, throwing multiple pitches for strikes, and competing.
Here comes Rentaro Sasaki. 0 for 2 today, including a walk and a strikeout. Or rather, 0 for 2, walked back in the 6th inning. Was left on base, being stranded at 3rd as Jason Diedrich wants to have a quick chat to Karkowski. 37 total pitches so far. Talking to Max Ortega. With that, certainly going to have a new pitcher coming in. So we'll step aside, take a quick break. Good work out of Jason Krakowski out of the pen, not giving up a single run, only 1 hit, including a strikeout. As we'll be right back right after this on ESPN Plus. The new pitcher for the Cal State Fullerton Titans here in the top half of inning number 8. The runner on first base, Timo Becerra. Haskins flew out to Gomez at first. Rentaro Sasaki will be awaiting to make his arrival once more against 6'4" redshirt sophomore Gavin Meyer from Hemet, California, from Dockwitz High School. Did not appear in any games during the 2024 season. During the 2023 season for the Titans, made 6 appearances on the mound. Pitched 6 innings with a 4.05 ERA before an injury ended his season. So this is a kid that, at least hasn't made a lot of appearances since the 2023 season. During his freshman year, though, he made 22 appearances. So for the new Titan fans, not maybe well known quite yet, but it's good to see him back on the rubber once more in a Titan uniform, bleeding the blue and orange. And he'll be facing Rentaro Sasaki, 0 for 2 today. Walked back in the 6th inning with a strikeout. Grounded out to Rosales at second base back in the 1st inning of play. Here's the first pitch to Kevin Meyer to Rentaro Sasaki. And it hits the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1.
You wouldn't do this with just any new pitcher, but Meyer's got a little bit of experience. So coming in his first appearance of the season, that the fact that it's this guy, hopefully he's able to handle that. Dietz thinks he will be.
The 0-1. Sasaki absolutely tattoos that baseball right up the middle. Becerra will advance to second. A hard-hitting single up the middle for the first baseman. Runners on first and second with one out in the top of the 8th inning for Charlie Somm.
We haven't seen Sasaki really go yard in this weekend yet, but every ball he hits is a screamer. And it reminds me of when I was at the Angels and I took some people to the game, and we sat in the outfield, and Ohtani hits this line drive home run to right field. So it's up over that high wall, and it's still coming. At 350 feet, it's still coming. Most home run balls, you see them, they're up in the air and they land. And Ohtani's ball was still a screamer at that 350 feet. So I don't know if Sasaki has that kind of power, but so far everything he's hit is a screamer.
Still, though, at his age, has plenty of time to develop. Be eligible for the MLB draft in 2026. Already voted Baseball America Preseason National Freshman of the Year. Baseball America Preseason Top 25 Freshman. The obvious that he's ranked number 1. Certainly improved. Why? The entirety of this weekend. 1 ball and 1 strike to Charlie Somm. Already has gone deep once this series. If he can find a way to get on. Tying run will be on deck with 1 out. That is Jimmy Nadai. Two one, right up the middle, collected by Rosales. Talata over to first. You bet. Another 4-6-3 double play. Kevin Meyer giving a big heck yeah. 7-3 Titans lead as they're trying to do more damage with the 6 when we return on ESPN Plus.
Well, the Titans have made a lot of big plays on defense today. Eli Lopez, a great diving catch, saved a run. And in the top half of the 8th inning, with Stanford threatening, Gavin Meyer induces not your classic double play ball. Let's see if this hits off the mound. It was a screamer right back through the box, but it hit the mound and veered over to Rosales so he could start a 4-6-3 double play. A little bit of a good bounce right there for the Titans that helps them get out of that jam.
Yeah, if it didn't skip the mound, the question would be that probably would have just gone straight into the outfield. But it works in favor of Rosales and the Titans, as once again, Ty Huber will get another inning to go. The Titans so far will be 9-1-2. Isaiah Gomez, Eli Lopez, and Carter Johnstone here in the bottom of the 8th inning, up by 4 runs, 7-3. But no lead is ever too small, or too safe, rather, to say the least. And we've seen some 8-9 inning rallies from Cal State Fullerton a season ago. But a good spot here. Impressive performance after dropping the first 3 games of the season. The 1-0, high chopper down the third baseline. It's a foul ball.
That might be better for Stanford because there's no way that Haskins from that throwing position was going to get Gomez.
I like the effort, by the way, from Sasaki. And for me, what stands out, and this is for any student athlete, I want to see some hustle. It was a foul ball, and even though it was foul, right, the play was automatically dead. Sasaki just acted as if it was a live ball. It kind of went past his glove, and he raced out to get it. And I love that about a student athlete. I want to see a guy that's high energy, you know, whether the play is dead, whether it's live, gives 100%, whether it's practice. And coaches see that, right? I mean, the saying goes, you know, practice how you're going to play, give 100%. And, you know, even me too, that's something that I want to see as a student athlete. So, in a way, I like that. Gomez hits it up the middle. Diving stop from Becerra. Steps up, throws it in time. What a play from Timo Becerra, and an exciting out number one here in the bottom of the eighth.
Timo's a good one. He just, you know, he's a shortstop. You know, it's the reason with some of the guys they have that he's still the guy there, shortstop. He's just that guy. You see Jimmy Nati on the other side. Timo. A Timo player. There's no I in Timo.
That was good. That was clean. Speaking of clean, certainly a clean defensive effort from Becerra at short. 1-0 pitch to Lopez, missing outside. 2-0. So far today, the last plate appearance for Lopez. Grounded out to third base back in the sixth inning. 1 for 4, single to right field back in the second. Downstairs, 3 down.
Behind Huber in the Stanford bullpen, there's Cohen Gomez, who was up in the pen a couple of games ago. He's a true freshman from Anaheim Hills, from Canyon High School. He's throwing his hardest down there. He's waiting to get in this game. But the game situation might not allow him, so he might have this chance kind of go away.
(3-1) slashed away foul to Anderson Family Field. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And the other thing is for Stanford, it's not like, okay, we're going to come see UCLA or USC this year. There's none. This Southern California trip is their only trip for these SoCal kids now, and that didn't used to be that way.
Routine grounder at short, goes in and out of the glove of Timo Becerra. So after making it a sensational defensive effort at short, this one was, I thought, a routine play.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
There is an E in Timo.
There's an E in Timo. That's good.
There's an E6 in Timo. Sorry, Timo.
Unfortunate.
Sorry, Timo family. He made the great play.
Yeah.
He gives one back.
That's going to be more remembered more than anything.
Oh, yeah.
Errors happen in baseball, right? Eli Lopez, E's all around, gets on first base here in the bottom of the 8th inning for Carter Johnstone. No, talking about what you're mentioning after this series, Stanford will return home for a 8-game set, a 4-game series against Washington, and then they have a 4-game series the week after against Xavier. Johnstone hits that one to Nati. Becerra over the first in time. See, Becerra just picked it up cleanly. He knew exactly what he's doing. 4-6-3 double play will end it in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cal State Fullerton 3 outs away from clinching their first victory of the 2025 season. Michael Martinez will be back on play-by-play duties to finish this one off on ESPN+.
New right fielder for the Titans is Cam Burdick. I thought that was something we don't often see. Because when we play midweek games and people get out at 6:45, then it's a little bit too dark to see outside.
Something different?
Something different. Gavin Meyer still pitching. 3 outs to get the win for the Titans, and he would get a, I don't even know if he'd get a save. He might get a save. We have to check back on that. Cam Burdick went to right field for the Titans, his first appearance this season, and Kirshner went to left. Lopez still in center. Jimmy Nati. 1 ball, 1 strike. Myers, a 93, 94 mile an hour fastball. Nadai, the Titans have held him down today. He's 0 for 3, 6 hits in the weekend. He came in 6 for 14, now 6 for 17. Got a strike call on the inside, 1-2. Here's Myers, 1-2. Got a half swing on the slider away, but not the full swing. 2-2. Nadai, Reynolds, Lavin. 5 through 7 spots for Stanford. They need 4 to tie and extend the game here in the 9th inning. Fastball in the outer half. Punch back through the middle. Rosales probably wouldn't have had a play even if he had got to it and kept it on the infield. Nadai with a base hit through the middle.
Never say never. This is a Stanford Cardinal team that, and we've seen it again, right? Last night, Cal State Fullerton was up 11-6. Pure Stanford, right? Just, you're not looking to make that big swing. You're not looking to make that big long ball right now. Find a way to get on. It hasn't been too much productive today, but the last few games, the bottom of the lineup certainly has been coming ready to play.
They have to minimize their out accumulation. This will do just that and get them on the board in the inning. Brady Reynolds with another home run this weekend and more RBI. Shakes off an 0 for 3 hat trick of strikeouts with a first pitch bomb. Makes it 7-5 Titans. And that was a shot, no doubter.
That can't happen. Fastball right over the heart of the plate. You can't picture that any better. Reynolds absolutely just taking off the laces of that baseball.
Second home run this weekend for Brady Reynolds and gets them right back in the game. They get the tying run on deck just like that. Luke Lavin swings over and threw a fastball for strike 1. Lavin been on base 3 times today, 2 walks and a single, scoring a run. Meyer. There's a time called by the home plate umpire McKinley. 7 runs, 11 hits for the Titans. 5 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. I still go back to that game 2 years ago because it was so unusual. When the Titans scored in the 8th inning, that Sunday game 2 years ago, it was 11-6 going to the 9th before Stanford scored 7 in the 9th, and they were ahead. Then Zach Lou hit a monstrous home run and sent us to extras. Lavin a line drive. Rosales can't reach that. It's into center. The first 3 in the inning get hits for Stanford, and here comes Tatum Marsh representing the tying run.
We know the power that Marsh has. I know I said it earlier, but again, in this situation, after hitting a 3-run bomb last night to deep left, we'll see what the discussion's going to be between Gavin Meyer and Max Ortega. I think there is someone warming up in the bullpen right now.
It's Andrew Wright. Andrew Wright, the lefty sophomore from Woodbridge. Warming in the pen. Trouble. Trouble could be in the cards. Pun intended. I was going to say trouble of brewing, but it's not UCLA. If it was USC, it'd be trouble riding in or something like Traveler on the horse. Tatum Marsh represents the tying run. Checks up. Good pitch. Starts him off backwards. Strike 1 on the call. Marsh 1 for 3 today. 5 hits this series with 4 batted in. Got him for strike 2. Nice throwing him a couple of breaking pitches to get him on the first 2. Close to the zone, but not a strike, and not a strike swinging either.
It was close, but you see the fans there saying that Marsh was already headed to the dugout.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Kept it on the plate, but Marsh with a late swing to punch it into right field. The first 4 for Stanford this inning get hits, and the tying run is now at first base. Second hit for Marsh today, 2 for 4, 6 hits this series.
It was a good pitch this time by Meyer, just more so just squared up by Marsh, able to take it to the opposite side of the field.
Charlie Bates 0 for 3 today. Gives way to Jack Sapien, a senior first baseman from Atwater, California. He's there to bunt. There is nobody out, so they could play to get the tying run into scoring position. And Jake Sapien, just like we're all Sapiens, S-A-P-I-E-N. So now Titans get to set their bunt defense here. I don't recall Stanford really bunting or sacrificing at all this weekend. They really haven't had to.
Hasn't really been in the situation.
No.
We've seen Cal State Fullerton a little bit, but I like it.
Yeah, they have to. You kind of have to. You're nobody out. You have the tying runs on. That's exactly what you would do if it was a tying run and say you were down 1, tying run out there at first and nobody out. They had 26 sacrifices last year. 1-0 to Sapien. Meyer with the pitch. Bunted back to the pitcher. Second baseman over, covering, and Rosales able to hold on to the throw and the base. The tying runs in scoring position. They're a base hit away from a tie now with the top of the order coming up in Timo Becerra. Pinch hit sacrifice.
Seems like Jason Diedrich did look at the bullpen for a split second. Wants to give Meyer another shot.
Slider for a strike. Timo into game 4 off the bench as a pinch runner. When McDonald went into first, maybe turned his foot a little bit, hurt himself going into first back in the 4th inning. Single his last time up. And Becerra pops up foul out of play. Becerra scored that run coming in as a pinch runner. Sac fly in the 5th, which they would take right now. They would take it even more if they could advance that runner from second to third. It would be the second out. And he did single in the 8th. 0-2, Meyer has him. Slider hit on the ground. So that bunt kept them out of the double play. Rosales takes the out at first base. The run scores. Lavin crosses the plate to make it 7-6. And the trail runner also advanced to third. So Marsh there at third base. The tying run as David Esker sees his team 90 feet away from a tie. There's the pitch, the breaking pitch. Timo Becerra, 2 RBI today off the bench. So Meyer getting into lots of breaking pitches. Now he's going against Trevor Haskins, 1 for 4 today. Robbed of a base hit in the 5th inning by the great catch in center by Eli Lopez. Haskins trying to tie it. Breaking pitch pulled over third down the line. We are tied, and there goes Haskins looking for extra bases. Kirshner plays the ball back in. No one cut it off, but now good backup there at first base, near the bag at second rather, by the first baseman Gomez, who throws to third and gets Haskins. So Kirshner in the left field corner missed the cutoff people, but a great, almost Jeter-like backup by Gomez. Racing up, trailing the runner, fielded the baseball at second and threw to third to send us to the 9th inning, where the Titans need just 1 to walk it off. Let's take a timeout. Ty Huber still on the bump for Stanford as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, where the Titans have 3, 4, and 5 due up. And a 4-run 9th inning by the Stanford Cardinal, forging a 7-7 tie. Not quite the 7 that they scored 2 years ago in the 9th inning of the finale. That got them ahead, but 4 runs, and it was just stopped there at the end on a great backup by Isaiah Gomez. Almost a play you never really see. But it only happened because Kirshner threw behind the cutoff men towards second, and no one was really there. And Gomez did a great job backing up, throwing to Johnstone for the out. So Marcus Rosales with the Titans needing just 1. Huber, breaking pitch to start him, strike 1.
You know, if you're Cal State Fullerton, yes, you're disappointed. You can't do anything now, but hey, why not send the home crowd happy here today?
Outside 1-1. Rosales had a triple early, 1 for 3. That's his only hit today. 2 hits in the series. Had a sac fly today, so he has an RBI. Hanger stayed up, ball 2. Ty Huber. Only base runner he has had against him was on an error. Swing and a miss. 2-2. You know, a number 3 hitter like Rosales has to go into a different mode as he's leading off this inning. That might have been a pitch you'd rather let go. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was elevated and it's popped up. Sasaki foul ground off first. It comes down to Cam Burdick next and Andrew Kirshner after that. First at-bat of the season for Cam Burdick. A candidate really to start in center field this year. But injuries have kind of come about coming in to the opening weekend. That's why Lopez, an infielder, started in center. And now we see Burdick now just getting in at the end of the weekend. Carlsbad High School, he's going to try to bunt. It goes past the pitcher. Sasaki throws it a little too soon for Nadai. Now Burdick's caught in between first and second. With Nadai getting it back from Becerra and tagging out Burdick. Nadai, the second baseman, chased the baseball that was thrown past first by Sasaki. And then a 4-6 to 4 put out.
This hurts.
It was a good bunt. Put the ball in play. You never know what happens. It was a bad throw from Sasaki. It goes off of Nadai's glove, but you kind of saw there right on your screen, right? Burdick tripped and fell. Knew he couldn't go back to second by the time he tried to go back to first. It was too late.
Did it hit Ryan Day, the first base coach? Or was Nadai able to knock it down? I'm not sure. I think we'd have to slow it down on another look. Nothing in one to Andrew Kirchner. Burdick, of course, is thinking he could be the winning run in scoring position, but I think it took a bad bounce. You know, if it gets thrown past first, you think, hey, there's nobody to back up.
Yeah.
And if I make this turn quickly, it's a soft throw. There's no way it caroms off the sidewall that quickly. I think it must have either got knocked down by Nadai or it hit Ryan Day, the base coach. By the way, we have a lot of base coaches this week who have same names to other people around the sports world. Ryan Day, the Ohio State football coach, and then on the Stanford side, Steve Rodriguez, their third base coach who played at UCLA, same name as the well-known baseball coach and former Pepperdine Wave. And last year the Titans played East Carolina when they had Colby Wallace. It was Colby Wallace on the Titans and Colby Wallace on East Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You've ever met any Robbie Loyas? Any other Robbie Loyas?
I have not.
Oh, wow.
People are disappointed at me because I think people want me to meet Fred Loya first, and then maybe see if I could find a Robbie Loya or two.
Yeah, Fred Loya. Those guys. That guy's signs are everywhere. Fred Loya Insurance.
I don't know the guy in case anyone's
and you're not
wondering.
related to him.
Not that I'm aware of. No.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Kirchner. Ball 4. Well, that's not a big frame coming in from the bullpen, so that's not Cohen Gomez. Instead, it's number 24, Aiden Keenan. Little slider frame, 6'2", 190, right-hander who we saw yesterday. And Ty Huber enters, can't win it. He leaves the winning run out there on the bases, so Keenan will try to get him off the hook here. In a wild 9th inning. We're still tied at 7. The Titans are still kicking at it, trying to find a way to win the game in the 9th inning with a score tied at 7 and Aiden Keenan on for his second relief outing. Keenan was in there yesterday at the end of Stanford's 14-11 win, getting the save. Pitched the 9th inning, got all 3 batters, no strikeouts, no hits or runs. 7 runs, 12 hits, 3 errors for Stanford. The Burdick bunt was ruled a straight error. Titans are 7 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Well, Maddox Lotta is up, and he's had a good day. At this point, you're looking at 2 hits to get the run in with 2 out. You have Lotta with Ortega on deck. Lotta has 3 hits, 2 singles, and a double. Ortega has 3 legs of the cycle, including a home run. So at any point in the lineup, these are the guys that maybe give you the best chance on this particular day. Ball 1 on Lotta.
Never know. I mean, Lotta has a lot of pop. He had 5 home runs a season ago, including having 9 doubles. So it's possible.
One and one to Lotta. Keenan, just 5 appearances last year with 2 starts. Off the end of the bat, kind of a trickler. Nati has it. Nice easy throw, gets it done. And we play through regulation tied at 7 apiece. And the mojo and the momentum right now is with Stanford as they'll bring up Sasaki to lead off in the 10th, tied at 7. 3 hours, 25 minutes to play 9 innings. And that's not enough to decide game 4. Andrew Wright comes in, the lefty from Woodbridge out of Lodi High School. And he immediately will encounter Rintaro Sasaki. Followed by Charlie Som, a right-hand hitter, and Jimmy Nati. Stanford recovering from a 7-3 deficit in the 9th inning to forge the tie. Titan pitching held Stanford down all afternoon with 6 shutout innings in the first 8 frames. And Stanford, they were held down when they did score compared to the other days, 2 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th. But then that Stanford explosion came in the 9th with 4. The Titans, 5 runs in the 2nd, had the early lead. Have added on 2 runs to that in the 6th and in the 7th. They still need 1 more to get the win at this point. And that's if Andrew Wright can shut down Stanford in the top of the 10th with Rintaro Sasaki. 1 hit today, 7 hits this series. In game 4, he's 1 for 3. A little bit of cut action there. Strike 1 on Sasaki.
And to add it really quickly, this is not the MLB. There's no runner on second for extras.
That's right. Fastball on the inside. Strike 2 called. Backed him up and actually came back to the plate. Surprised a lot of people, especially Rintaro Sasaki, who has struck out looking his 3rd strikeout this weekend. Andrew Wright pitched the last 3 innings of the Saturday night game in relief of Kai Negretti. 2 hits and 1 run, facing 12 batters. 44 pitches that night. Charlie Som, the hitter, 1 for 4 today. Som, an RBI double back in the 4th. Finds a big hole on the left side against the Titans' no doubles defense. On a 1-0 count. Som, the go-ahead run is on base. He's a DH and catcher. And they're going to get a pinch runner for him. Brett Blair, who's an outfielder slash catcher. Maybe a little better wheels, though, from Gainesville, a senior. Jimmy Nati, after Stanford's 13th hit today, a big chopper. It goes to Johnstone, who throws through the glove of Rosales. And I think Rosales had his head up thinking about the double play and didn't catch it. The runners are both safe, and there's still only 1 out.
Let's see if we can take another look. So off of Johnstone, you kind of see he had to double clutch his glove to throw it over to Rosales. A high throw goes off of his tip of the glove and into right field, and And you see Esker trying to,
Look for an interference call.
and that's Matt McMahon. And time has been called because there's a gate that opened near the bullpen over there on the Stanford Cardinal side. So they're going to just close that, make sure that Burdick locks it up.
The air is charged to Johnstone at third versus the catch at second by Rosales. Brady Reynolds. The Titans could have got out of the inning right there. Could they have turned the double play? Instead, they have to face Reynolds, who just is coming off a home run, a 2-run shot in the ninth. Started him off with a slider, 0-1. Fouled off. Wright has Reynolds 0-2. Wright's 0-2. In the air to center. Lopez and Burdick. Actually goes over towards Burdick. With a tag up at second by Blair. He takes third. Runners now at the corners with 2 out.
I'm excited to see another lefty-lefty matchup. We know the experience that Andrew Wright brings to the table, right? I mean, he's proven it in this series already, making his second appearance in this matchup against Cardinal. And it seems like there's going to be some defensive adjustments, rather. We'll see. More than likely, I think everyone's just going to play back, possibly, except for maybe Johnstone. Yeah, everyone's going to play back except for Johnstone. He'll be playing towards the bag on the third base side.
A lefty-heavy lineup for Stanford today. They had 5 starting players, left-hand hitters, and then McDonald got hurt, so ended up being 4 now at this point. But Tide's able to use lefties here today with Hawkinson starting. That breaking ball is hit, a line drive to right field. Stanford is in front here in the 10th inning as Luke Lavin puts Stanford ahead for the first time today.
Stanford's a team, right? You know better than anyone. They're not going to give up without a fight. They prove so, giving up 4 runs in the 9th, getting a crucial one here in the 10th. Just a great piece of hitting right there for the catcher to get the Stanford Cardinal the lead for the first time here today.
Jason Dietrich is out of the dugout, possibly to go to the bullpen once again. I think that's 46 Landon Martin down to the Titan pen. You leave it in the red zone, Stanford is going to get on it. Andrew Wright will be left out there to try to get the one more out. Tatum Marsh is up. Marsh with 2 hits today, 6 hits this series. Double and a single today. Titans have Ortega leading off in the bottom half of the 10th. 7, 8, and 9. Marsh, swing and a miss, strike 1. Can't be surprised at the Stanford offense. They do this to a lot of people. And, I think it was during that 23 season after they scored the 15 runs the last 2 innings here in one a 10-inning game. They maybe did it to another team later in the year, and I thought, well, that's not a fluke. And the train keeps on rolling as Marsh goes line drive past Rosales into right field. Nadi scores. Stanford leads at 9-7 in the 10th.
I like the decision to keep Andrew Wright. And the reason why, you look back, right? You get Sasaki looking on strikes for out number 1. Som singles the left field with Nadi hitting it to Johnstone at third. Double play. That gets you out of the inning.
Yeah, sure did. Sure would have.
And it was the same. And that's kind of been the story for the series, right? It's just, you can't make mistakes against this tough Cardinals squad. You had 3 errors in one game. Negretti had an outstanding performance. None of the runs were earned by Negretti, who still ended up taking the loss. So again, just errors are going to come back to bite you.
1-1 on Ethan Hotz, who is their new center fielder. Came off the bench. He's in this 9 spot here, top of the order on deck for Stanford. First at bat of the season for Ethan Hott. Hott's a junior from Paradise Valley, Arizona. Hott, last year, .294 hitter, and had a fair amount of starts with 38. Line drive, Rosales catches that. That ends the inning. So 2 runs for Stanford, and that's that. So Stanford with 6 runs over the last 2 frames. And I hate to keep bringing it up, but it's to me, it's still relevant. It's not the 8 they scored in the 10th inning 2 years ago in the finale. So this is like semi-recoverable if you're Fullerton. They bring up 7, 8, 9 here in the 9th. So you get around to the top of the order, give yourself a chance. Aiden Keenan for Stanford continues on. 7 batted for Stanford that top of the 10th with 3 hits, a costly error. So Ortega, he had a home run back in the 6th. He can't tie it with a leadoff home run here, down 9-7. Bardowell not on deck yet, but he's the due-up hitter. Isaiah Gomez after that. Nick Miller comes out on deck to bat second this inning, so Bardowell will give way. Chops at a slider and fouls it past third.
And if you're Kyle State Fullerton, yes, you don't want to be in a situation like this, but you're happy that your leadoff guy is Max Ortega, a kid that's already had 3 RBIs here today.
3 batted in for Ortega on a 3-hit day, a triple short of the cycle. Three hours, 10 minutes in. 3 hours, 30 minutes in. 40 minutes. Gosh. When it's past 3 hours and 40 minutes, math skills go flying away. 2 balls and 1 strike on Ortega. 3-1. Ball 4, the tying run at the plate now for Fullerton. Waldy Perez, who maybe has a little better wheels than his fellow catcher, Max Ortega. Waldy comes in to run at first base. And Nick Miller represents the tying run for the Titans. Miller, 2 games played, 1 start this weekend, coming in 0 for 5. Strike 1 on him. Junior infielder from Yavapai College in Ventura, California. Also played at Fresno State. Foul back, 0-2. In 2023 at Fresno, looking for some stats. Miller took a red shirt in 2023 at Fresno.
No, I'm right here.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Line drive, caught at second by Nadai. He's been all over the place here late in the ball game. Jimmy Nadai from Australia.
This hurts. Let's take another look on ESPN Plus. Good quality at bat. It was a good line shot. Unfortunate, just right at the mitt of Nadai at second, making the absolute sensational diving effort for an exciting out number 1 here in the bottom of the 10th.
Number 9 man Isaiah Gomez is up. Got the top of the order on deck. Breaking pitch, strike 1. Fastball in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the ground to Becerra. Tough handle, but it's a 6-4-3 double play. Started by Becerra and turned by Nadai. Stanford completes the sweep with a come from behind in game 4. They were down 5 runs yesterday and 5 runs today. Come back from both deficits. 11-6 yesterday. Came back to win 14-11. 5-0 today. They win it 9-7 with 4 in the 9th to tie and 2 in the 10th to win. That's the Stanford Cardinal. The Never Say Die. Never Say Die team of David Esker. And they come back to sweep Fullerton. 9 runs, 15 hits, 3 errors for Stanford. Ended up with 6 left on base, 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Titans, 8 left on base. The winning pitcher is Aiden Keenan. And the losing pitcher, Andrew Wright. With a missed chance to finish the game in the 9th inning when he had 4-run lead. And second time in 2 years that Stanford does this to the Titans in the finale of the series. 5-run deficit they faced 2 years ago in the finale. Came back to win in the 10th, and they do the same thing here, down 4 in the 9th.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I like, the fight that Cal State Fullerton had, especially from, the first 2 games of the series between Stanford So, you like the effort from Cal State Fullerton. They're going to go back. They're going to watch the film, see what they need to do to improve. And, it's baby steps. You're going to look back. There are small victories into this series. But again, only 4 games of a 54-game schedule. So 50 more games left to be played of Cal State Fullerton baseball. Still a lot of time left, still a lot of time to improve. So, again, from this point on, it's just going to be a learning experience for the Titans here.
It's Fresno State on the road for the Titans starting Friday. Then the next week they have a Tuesday game here against USC. Stanford's going home to host Washington in a 4-game set. And my thanks to Robbie Lloyd and our great crew. It's time to get out of here. 9-7, Stanford comes back to beat and sweep the Titans in Game 4. All games airing on ESPN are archived and available on the ESPN app.
Hello, darlings.